No mai, haere mai, ki whakatū. Welcome to the Trafalgar Centre in downtown Nelson, ready for some NBL action this Saturday afternoon between the Taranaki Airs and the MBS Nelson Giants. We start as we always do with the Sky Broadband Rapid League, and this town fast becoming a Rapid League town, put it that way. More of that to come. Hugh Bain here alongside recently retired Nelson Giant Tom Ingham. And Ingy, this town desperate for a win, but in the Rapid League they've been coming thick and fast.
Yeah, the Rapid League boys have been on fire to start the season, really continuing on from that championship performance last season, so they'll be looking for win number 5 this evening.
You see the young Rapid League Giants top of the Sky Broadband Rapid Basketball standings. 4-0 are the reigning Rapid League champs. It's ahead of the Nuggets and the Saints, and what an innovation it has been for New Zealand basketball to see our young locals go at it before the big dance each game day. And there are the Airs, 2 and 3, sitting in 9th spot at the moment. Of course, the points difference transfers over to the Sal's NBL main ladder as well, as Giants fans know all too well. As we see the starting 5 for the Airs Rapid League team: Jack Exeter, Scott Telfer, Riley Tuta, Jordi Hoata, and the Stratford Stallion, Quinton Bailey.
Yeah, Quinton Bailey, he should be a guy really looking to make his mark on this game. Let's look at the Giants starters there: James Matthews, Caleb Chamberlain, Lockie Crate, Aston Inwood, and Will Blight. James Matthews has been a guy to watch. He's been the top scorer for the Giants Rapid League and has had a heck of a start to the season, starting to make some contributions in the main NBL games too.
There is the Rapid head-to-head, Matthews and Bailey, two to watch from a scoring point of view, and a lot of points to come in a Rapid League sense. Giants top of the ladder for a reason, 38.3 points a game, and the Airs not too far behind.
Yeah, 32 shots per game. They're really getting them up in comparison to the Airs too, as we see the refs there: Corey Hogg, Amy Jo Clark, and Taylor Lynch.
It's actually going to be Marty Davison.
Marty Davison in the game.
Taylor Lynch, as we can see Marty, the crew chief.
What an honour.
Well, I wonder if there has been some travel disruptions, as we've seen. The Airs only arrived this morning into Nelson after a bit of a weather bomb hit the top of the south yesterday afternoon and evening. So just had coach Sam McKinnon, who made it into the city last night, the team arriving this morning.
Yeah, he talked about an absolute frantic 24 hours trying to race back in, and he was in before the rest of the boys, and by the sounds of things, as we see the Giants coaches there, by the sounds of things, they've been rolling in drips and drabs, but you know, they see them bouncing around the court, good to go. So happy days as Phil Jones gives his old mate Hugh Bain some stick.
Phil Jones on the coaching staff, and looks like he'll be taking the lead for the Rapid League game. And we're underway. The Airs control the tip. Oh, Lockie Crate getting into the passing lane early and almost affecting the first turnover of this contest. Is Scott Telfer driving? Oh, there is the first turnover. James Matthews gets it taken straight back off, and they've got to put up a bit of a wild one. Scrappy old start, and the Giants will be happy, Tom, with that first defensive set.
And that's what the Giants have been doing. They've really been setting the tone down that defensive end. It's usually spearheaded by James Matthews, as we see Crate so effective at getting downhill. He does a really good job getting ahead of steam, and if he gets a step on someone, he's not afraid to go finish all the way at the cup.
The foul called on Quinton Bailey. Crate to Chemist Warehouse strike.
Yeah, Lockie Crate had an impressive start to the Rapid League season, but also really settling into his time in Nelson at the NBL level also, as he misses the first one. But a great get for the Giants in the off-season, and the youth that they have, hopefully with some down the stretch, should really help them pull out a few wins.
Out of Fielding High School, formerly a Manawatu Jet. It was a friendship with James Matthews and Hayden Jones from that famed New Zealand under-17 side that helped lure him down to Nelson. Great pass from Quinton Bailey, and Jack Exeter, everything but the finish from the Airs there. Matthews comes the other way, head on a swivel. Oh, Aston Inwood with a beautiful pass fake, and then the finish and the foul.
James Matthews looking like a halfback out there, pops up the short ball, and as we know, Aston Inwood, he loves some code. You see him on the burst as Matthews comes down. Seed, and we'll get the finish. Back for a scrum.
Aston Inwood still sporting the mask with the broken nose.
Yeah, unreal effort from him. Surgery on the Tuesday, back out on the Sunday into it, and straight on the floor, I think 20 seconds into his time in the NBL game.
LeBron made the mask cool though, eh? You almost want to wear it now. Here's Jordi Hoata just to hand it off. Exeter waits for the Bailey screen. Bailey dives. Hoata along the baseline, drops it back to Bailey. Will Blight with a good hand in there. Bailey sticks with it, but the Giants come away with it. Good work from young Will Blight.
And the Giants' rotations straight away have been really good. As you see them look to push the tempo. We see Lockie Crate again. Great hand there.
We really can't underestimate the strength of Quinton Bailey. As the ball goes out of bounds, it will be Ayers' possession.
Nah, sets a heck of a screen, Quinton Bailey. Definitely been a victim to a few of those through the day, so he's one to watch.
And he's not as tall as some of the players he has to look after, but he makes up for it with immense strength. Here he is handing the ball off. Riley Tuta driving, looking to hand it back, but out of bounds it goes. Will Blight so far done a great job protecting that paint area.
Yeah, Will Blight is also an incredibly good on-ball defender, on-ball screen defender. He really gets out in hard shows well, very long, so that enables him to really disrupt passes. James Matthews, everything but the finish.
Exeter looking to get into the paint. Oh, there's Aston Inwood, read it beautifully, comes away with the ball. Blight, uncharted territory, dribbling over halfway, hands it over to Caleb Chamberlain. Skips down the lane, can't get the finish. 2 minutes ago in this first quarter, and the two of the two highest scoring teams. That's a pretty good defense at the moment.
Yeah, the Giants are really extending out and making life difficult for the Taranaki Airs right now. Really not enabling them to get into the offense. You see downhill.
Jordi Hoata with a beautiful finish.
Great finish from Hoata. Big body, able to bump the defender off. Easy bucket.
Great shapes to shoot. Hands it back to Matthews instead. Blight diving. Great catch and shoot three ball. High off the iron and rebounded by Scott Telfer.
Scotty Telfer in Ayers colours had a really good Rapid League season last year for the Southland Sharks, so coming through as a leader for this Ayers team.
Hometown province, I believe, for Scotty Telfer as the other hometown man. Strapped stallion, Quinton Bailey connects from the wing for three.
And Quinton Bailey's able to do that. He's able to stretch the floor. I see Exeter's lost his shoots. They've got a bit of an advantage right now, which can they capitalise? No, unlucky there from Chamberlain. But Quinton Bailey, you see straight back down the floor.
Hoata fires it over. Riley Tuta from the wing. Doesn't go. Chamberlain with the rebound, 43 seconds to go in this first half. Harassed by Hoata. A bit of afters between the two.
Love to see that bit of chippiness early doors. Oh,
continues, and yeah, that was a foul.
And that's one Fitchett doesn't like on the sideline. Obviously, it's good to get chippy, but as soon as that starts to extend into a bit of accentuated contact and you give away an easy foul, not an ideal moment for the Giants, especially down one early.
Cohen, the Wish Williams, into the game for the Giants, as is Sam Dempster, who's back after missing the Giants last game as Bailey looks to go to work on Will Blight. Up with the right hand, can't get it to go. Rebound Dempster. It's been said well over 1,000 times in this building over the years.
Yeah, hates a defensive rebounder, Sammy Dempster.
Just a whistle as the shot clock wasn't started, so referee Amy Jo Clark going to get that sorted.
Acknowledges the mistake. Love to see that from a referee.
So the Giants will inbound. Here's Blight up top. Coming off the wheel is James Matthews. He gets the mismatch he wants on Bailey. 7 seconds to go in this first quarter. The head boy of Nelson College into the lane, kisses it off the glass.
Great finish from James Matthews. Able to take the time, really size up Quinton Bailey. Tough finish.
Now that is the first quarter done. 6-5. And an interesting battle between these two.
Yeah, really interesting. The Giants really came out with that defensive pressure for a start, really put the Airs on the back burner, but couldn't quite capitalise down the offensive end. But you've seen Taranaki started to get a couple of shots to fall, and they'll be happy. Quinton Bailey has been big in this so far for the Airs, and for the Giants, it looks to be James Matthews who has the ball in his hand and is making the most impact. Sky Broadband Fibre starter, $50 a month. What do you reckon, Hugh?
The deal.
Yeah, I can get around that. I can definitely get around that one. See, Coach Drew Green as well. I believe NBL debut against the Rams as the head coach. So didn't quite get the win on that one, but he'll be trying to...
Doesn't get much tougher than debuting against this current Canterbury Rams side.
No, it does not. That Canterbury Rams side is a dangerous side right now. After that first slip up against the Fire, they've really came back. See Bryce Johnson on screen. He's gearing up for a big one tonight. The
solo import for the Nelson Giants at the moment. The news in the week, of course, that Jaden Forbes let go by Coach Mike Fitcher, as you can see in the middle of your screen. Tough decisions, but necessary ones at this level in such a short season.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really good. The likes of Hayden Jones looking like he's going to step into that starting role, and you know, H has really shown some positive signs coming off the bench this year, and I think he's definitely ready to step into that starting role, obviously, before he heads off to Wisconsin. So look for him to make a big impact in the main game tonight.
Geez, what an exciting year for Hayden Jones and others as well in that class of New Zealand basketball. Came out of that under-17 World Champs run. Phenomenal. Here's Aston Inwood back underway for the second quarter. Matthews, part of that under-17s team. He's got another year of school to go before his future unravels in front of him. Here he is. Again, kisses it off the glass. Patience from James Matthews is rewarded.
And just the confidence too. It's really clear that, you know, he's starting to string some great games together, and that confidence, especially after that NBL game, is sky high right now.
Hoyata looks for Bailey, puts the ball on the floor. There's Tamatea. Gets around the veteran, and Sam Dempster finishes nicely.
Yeah, great move from Tamatea, and it looked like he made his debut against the Rams on Wednesday night, and was really impressed with how he got up the floor, and you see he's able to do the finish there. So great to see the young fella show some confidence early.
James Matthews hits the deck. Tamatea looks like he got a bit of contact there. Shot fake from Dempster, gets his own rebound. Might go up again, instead fires it over to Cohen Williams. Three ball doesn't go. Quentin Bailey with a strong box out in the rebound.
An interesting fact about Cohen Williams was actually a left-handed shooter for the vast majority of basketball career. I think just last year changed to the right hand, so still a good looking shot considering he just changed it.
Hoyata does well to draw the foul from Aston Inwood under the hoop, and to the line he'll go to shoot two.
Yeah, great job. Hoyata does a really good job getting out of that screen, able to get Aston Inwood in the air, goes to the Chemist Warehouse for two. Leaves that first one short. See Drew Green running the cutter there. Tie game. Ayers now bring it to 8-all. Been a really competitive start. Not one team not really able to pull away right now. The Giants showed some signs at the start, but have slowed down a wee bit as we see Matthews bring the ball up. Oh, with the handle. And Jack Exeter doing a really good job of disrupting Inwood, stopping him from that second-hand side motion as we see Dempster try to bully Quentin Bailey.
Oh, beautiful.
Aston Inwood.
He's really got a hit fake, say.
He does, with the mask as well, but he's really good at that keep dribble and is able to, you know, catch the defender sleeping for that second. Easy bucket.
Bailey up top. Exeter thought about the three. Doesn't think twice the second time round. Rebound, Dempster.
It's great to see Jack Exeter back in the league too. Had a really good year with the Hawke's Bay Hawks. As you see the foul on Tamatea. Really good year with the Hawks in 2022, but I believe got injured at the back end of that season and was plying his trade over in Australia in the NBL 1, but fantastic to see him back in the mix because he can be a problem at the NBL level too.
James Matthews takes a seat after a good quarter and a half.
Yeah, great start from James Matthews.
Lockie Crate back into this one. Here's Cohen Williams, fires it over to Caleb Chamberlain. That pass smacked out of bounds by Riley Tuta.
And a really good job. The Airs are shrinking the floor. The defensive pressure may not be up and in, but you see they're really got their arms out. They're sitting in passing lanes, so it's not easy for the Giants to penetrate, find seams, and ultimately finish. Great job from the Airs.
Williams, Chamberlain curling, rising from the mid-range. We can't get it to go. Lockie Crate does well to keep it in. Dempster, 3 ball. That doesn't drop. And the Airs will go the other way.
And a lot of offensive rebounds right now for the Giants, which is definitely keeping them in the game because right now the shooting isn't quite there. But as we know, both of these teams, they can turn it up when the time comes.
Lyric Tuhaka spinning, not finishing. Another rebound for Dempster, but a weird jump ball after the young fella ties it up.
And Sammy D doesn't like that one. Him and Corey Hogg see a lot of each other, I know, on the A-grade circuit as well when Sammy D's playing his trade for the Stoke Bears, so definitely not the first confrontation.
And coaching Nelson College, as those two, they know each other well. Bailey just can't get his hand on it, so they have to reset outside the 3-point line. Exeter. Bailey wanted it, had position. Exeter contested mid-range. Dempster did well and gets the rebound.
Yeah, great hand from Sammy D. Hasn't got any shots to go yet, but is doing a really good job dictating things down that defensive end.
Williams slings it back. Dempster in the low block. Back to Williams. 3 ball. Drops for the wish.
Massive hit from Cohen Williams. That'll be really good for his confidence too. Definitely more than capable of lighting it up out there. And if he sees a couple go down, he can start stringing a few together.
And travel there, called on Jerome Tamatea, who's looked lively in his minutes so far.
See Sam Dempster there. Great kick out. Cohen Williams didn't even hesitate, and that's great. I would have loved to see Sam Dempster shoot that pick and pop three, as we see good hand from Tamatea up the floor, putting pressure on Cohen Williams. But Sam Dempster, pick and pop at the top of key, that's a shot. I really want to see him be shooting that one.
Under 30 seconds to go in this first half of the Rapid League game between the Giants and the Airs. The main event coming up from 4 o'clock. Here's Cohen Williams spinning on a dime. The floater doesn't drop. Big rebound, Dempster. And he's bailed out by the Exeter hand. And it will be Giants' possession in front of their bench.
And great job from Sammy D again. You see that energy, and obviously a very young team on both sides, but you see Sam Dempster with the experience there, able to do those little things that contribute to winning.
Here is the player timeout, used by Lockie Crate with 14.4 seconds to go in this first half.
Be interesting to see what they look at here as we see, BNZ player timeout. Interesting to see what they do here. If they try to go to maybe Lockie Crate getting downhill. He's had a lot of success really coming out of that corner and pushing in. But it will be interesting. Often they go to the pick and roll, but without James Matthews out there, we'll see what they do.
Scan the QR code on your screen for a chance to win tickets to the season's game. Thanks to BNZ. Check it to the big game.
And another Ernie Kerr sighting. We said this in the first game. You see his head bobbing in the background, that big afro. What an absolute specimen.
Big Ernest Kerr, the Glacier. Williams, 10 seconds to go in this first half. Round the inward screen. That's a lot of contact. It's going to have to go up. The turnaround jumper from the elbow. It doesn't go. That one does, though. The clock hasn't gone, but Marty Davison knows better. And that will do us for the second quarter of action here. 13-8. A Rapid League lead to the MBS Nelson Giants over the Taranaki Airs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we talked at the start of the game, looking at the Chemist Warehouse stats, that the Airs and the Giants were two of the top scoring teams in the Rapid League, but both holding each other in different manners right now. The Giants are looking to get up and in, really disrupt passing lanes, whereas the Airs are really shrinking the floor, as we see the Chemist Warehouse stats right now. Aston Inwood leading the way, as he often does, not really popping up on the stat sheet, but is in this instance 5 points. James Matthews 4. Look at the rebounds. Sam Dempster, as he always does, with 5, and then a spread there from Bailey, Tuta and Huata as well. Then contributions, Cray, Inwood, Chamberlain, Telfa and Tamatea also. As we look at assists, we've got Tuta with 2, and then Matthews and Dempster with 1. Not many assists so far.
What do you think of Andrew Mulligan claiming that the Rapid League equivalent of a triple-double is a 5-5-5? Can it work for you? You've played, you've been there, you've done that, you played Rapid League. Does that feel about right in the same ballpark?
Yeah, I can get around that. I mean, personally, I was probably never in the mix for that because I like to pass the ball a bit more. But Aston Inwood, he's one to watch. I think he could be a regular 5-5-5 guy. But I can get around Mel's on that front. I like the idea.
Needs a different name. You can't call it a something double, though, but maybe a fifer or something, a double fifer or a triple fifer or something.
Fifer, cricket.
Yeah.
Well bowled, sir.
I mean, that is a very young team that the Giants run out there. And then number 10, Sam Dempster.
Yeah, you can tell by the hair. I mean, all rocking similar cuts, but then you've got Sammy D rocking the infamous coach's look, actually, from the Nelson Giants with the Fitchett, Gargiulo and Jones look.
There's Mike Fitchett just priming the referee crew ahead of the main game.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the last conversation we will see from Mike Fitchett this evening. Especially trying to get a win, as we see brothers, it looks like almost.
Well, two of the greats of Nelson basketball. 44 years they've been playing Nelson Giants basketball in this gym. And there's some of the greatest to ever do it still very much involved with the franchise as the first points of the second half go to Lockie Crate.
Yeah, love that from Crate straight away. Got the deep seal. Looked like he was maybe going to come off a turnout, but turned. Oh, maybe a carry there from Telfer. But good from Crate early doors.
Oyata up high. Bailey. Great curl. Contact finish. Quinton Bailey.
And as he does so many times, he keeps the game nice and simple. Quinton Bailey looks to get on that right hand there, extends, great finish.
Inwood hands it off. Chamberlain, 3-ball, leaves it short. Lockie Crate, though, almost keeps it in. But it will be Ayers' possession from under the hoop.
That's a great look from Chamberlain, though, and Coach Phil Jones really backing him up on that front. The defender goes under. He has to get comfortable shooting that and has looked comfortable shooting that in Rapid League so far.
Definite project for the Giants. One they've committed to, and Caleb Chamberlain came up from, great footwork from Geordie Hoata, and he's rewarded with the finish.
Fantastic. I was about to say great verticality from Will Blight, but just got caught a wee bit too vertical in that instance, and Hoata able to use his footwork.
Matthews 3-ball off the back iron. Big rebound from Hoata too. Younger brother, of course, the former All Black Jared Hoata, and plays with the same physicality on the basketball court. Matthews does well, reads it, comes away with the steal. Chamberlain running downhill into the lane, the finish too. Caleb Chamberlain
did really well not to put that second foot down there and travel. He's got the athleticism. I believe Westside Blitz dunk competition champion, able to show some of that flight there.
The shrug off from Scott Telfer is seen. And the Giants will get possession back.
And Inwood does such a good job at that. He's able to get up and in, as we see. Different replay here. Chamberlain, saucy. But yeah, Inwood does such a good job. It's staying in front. He doesn't foul, but it can be really frustrating for the offensive player. And you see Telfer extend there, get caught for the offensive foul.
Caleb Chamberlain, dunk contest champion last year. Yeah. Who do we know who won it this year? I didn't manage to get down to the West Coast.
Yeah, neither actually. I couldn't tell you. I wonder if they even had one. There was nothing really publicised. Way to run there.
Great job, James Matthews, but Geordie Hoata stays with it and finishes.
And well deserved. You see Hoata run the floor, and it's really good to see bigs get rewarded if they're running rim to rim like that.
Nearly picked off by Tuta, but Inwood does well. Go the line to shoot two as Dempster and Cohen Williams get ready to check back into the game for the Giants. I remember that dunk contest well that Caleb Chamberlain won.
Impressive. My money was actually, I would never tell Chamber this, but he'll probably listen to the broadcast after the game. See, great move there from Inwood. My money was probably on Carlin Davidson. I feel that's for pretty good reason. Dunked over you, I believe.
Dunked right over me, yeah. That was, that was no disrespect to Caleb Chamberlain. Probably the highlight of the dunk contest was, I'm a 2 metre tall man, and he just jumped clean over me.
With ease.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chamber definitely had a couple. I think there was a layup and a bit of a windmill after it went through the rim, so definitely not shortage. Better than some of the NBA dunk comps.
Oh, yeah. Rebound, Dempster again. Here he is, putting the ball on the floor. The footwork fires back out to Lockie Crate. 3-ball from the wing. Good box out and rebound from Geordie Hoata this time. Here's Telfer running downhill, hands it off. Exeter, Dempster read that beautifully. Exeter does well to keep possession in the end. Catch and shoot Telfer. He's going to leave that short, and Crate comes away with it.
And great box out from Matthews there too. Had Huata looking for that. You see him push the ball. And Aston.
Wow,
Inwood.
what a rebound. Leaves it short though. And the Airs might get one the other end. Riley Tuta. Good defense in the end from Lockie Crate and Cohen Williams.
You could see that coming. Crate was lining that up from half court. I think he was trying to send that down to the Tahuna Beach, but
17-14, under a minute to go in this third quarter. The Giants with the slim advantage. Exeter sizes up Inwood.
great job there from Inwood. You know, he gets mismatched, but Asto slides his feet incredibly well. Wurzai has a great cut there from Matthews. Kicks around. This is where the Giants are at their best, when the ball's moving, the ball's popping. As Cohen Williams misses that one, but that's what they need to keep trying to do. Get into the paint, get the Airs into dominoes, get them scrambling on defense.
Another rebound for Sam Dempster, who now has 7 rebounds in this shortened version of the game.
What's the most rebounds in a Rapid League game? Do we have intel on that? Because Dempster might be climbing up here.
3 quarters in the books. We'll do our best to find those stats for you, Tom. 17-14, the Giants lead the Airs with a quarter to go in this matinee before the NBL teams go to work at 4 o'clock.
And the big thing right now, we talk about at the start, and both these teams' ability to score, still not able to find the momentum and rhythm right now. The Nelson Giants shooting 29%, 7 of 24. The Taranaki Airs shooting 6 of 20 at 30%. And both 1 of 9 from the Giants for 3, Airs 1 of 5. So obviously the defense has been fantastic by both teams right now, but I think it's going to come down to who is able to put the ball in the basket, which seems pretty basic, but that's what it's going to come down to. So Geordie Huata putting together a solid game there, as we see Harry Froling and Owen Foxwell there on the screen talking strategy for the big one tonight. But Geordie Huata sitting at 7 points and 6 rebounds, and also an assist there too. So he's really making his mark felt on this game.
I've got the Rapid League highest score ever from an individual player, Matt Bardsley, 27.
Impressive. Bars, that'd have been straight, just slashing to the rim too.
Back underway in fourth quarter here. Lyric Tuhaka fires it over. Here's Tamatea. Telfer gets a little bite from Crate, enough to get him off his feet, but Crate recovers really well. It will still be Airs' possession.
Yeah, great job there from Crate. Able to stay vertical. Telfer really tried to initiate the contact. We've got 12 rebounds is the Rapid record. So Sammy D 4 away. It'd be a big rebounding quarter, but wouldn't put it past the big man.
Casey Nwafo is the record holder. Shout out Mike Lacey. Just stats guru listening in. You know, right on the phone. Love your work, Mike.
Onto it. Fantastic.
James Matthew looks like he's copped a stray limb to the side of the head. We might see what happened here. Just a bit of a hook there, and his elbow's gone into the side of Matthew's head from Jerome Tamatea.
Jones trying to argue the call, and he probably has quite a good point, as Tamatea hooked him in that last bit, but play on.
More careless than malicious, but still looked like it hurt. Bailey not fooling anyone with the 3-point pump fake this time round. Tamatea going to work on Matthews, who does really well. And it will be Giants possession.
Great job from James Matthews. It's what he does. It's what he's done throughout this whole Rapid League season. He's able to get up and in, really make guards have to make moves, counter moves, and then a counter move on top of that. It's a great job.
Inwood wide open into the hoop. Matthews, good patience, and gets the finish too.
Great job from James Matthews, flying past, able to get that bucket. With
full court defense from the Giants on the inbound as Bailey just checks his plans. Tamatea has been lively. A reset through Telfer. Projects the screen, but Inwood up to it. And Inwood does a great job. Matthews goes the other way. He's got Williams to his right. Going to pull it back. 19-14 they lead. Going to maintain the perfect start to the Rapid League season. And the ball moving slickly between the Giants. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Matthews puts Quinton Bailey down and gets it to go.
Oh my goodness, James Matthews. Sorry to the viewers, I probably caused a few burst eardrums there, but my goodness. Quinton Bailey can move for a big guy too, and James Matthews just made him touch earth as we look here on the replay. Shoink! Could probably blame the decal a wee bit there. I was about to say, maybe a bit rough on the big fella, but credit to Matthews, heck of a move.
And the off-balance floating finish as well from Matthews. Lead by 7. After this time with the screen. Fire it back to Tuhaka. Hands it off to Telfer, and a little bit of zip just missing from this Ayers offense that we saw earlier on as Telfer's high arcing three doesn't hit anything, and out of bounds he goes.
And as you see, like we talked about at the break, it's going to be the team that starts to put the ball in the basket. The Giants have maintained that defensive pressure, so if they can continue to string a couple more scores together, it might be a good night nurse pretty soon.
There's Matthews getting right down to the baseline. Rebound Dempster, chalk up another one. That's 9. And he's fouled. Will go to the line to shoot 2.
I think he heard us in commentary. He heard the Mike Lacey stat count, and that man he's trying to go for that 12.
He's got 1:44 to get 3 rebounds to tie the Rapid League record. And you can see the pathways strong in Nelson. Looking at this Rapid League team, the three of the young men on the floor were national champions in the under-17 grade, coached by Phil Jones, who's coaching them now in this Rapid League. Another couple on the bench and another couple in the extended training squad as well. Telfer driving, the foul, robbing us of another potential Dempster rebound.
I love that from Telfer though. He's settled for a couple, but you know, Scotty Telfer does a really good job at getting downhill, and often in that high dribble handoff action, you see him getting down in that situation, able to draw the contact and getting to the Chemist Warehouse. That can help him maybe develop a wee bit of that stroke for the last minute and 36 of this game. Will Blight just turned a blind eye to that net up, hoping to get away with, but Scotty Telfer wasn't letting that slide.
Scott Telfer takes 2 from the line.
Jack Exeter back in for the Taranaki Airs. Last push. This has to be it for the Airs right now as you see them extending the pressure up the floor.
23-16, 90 seconds to go. Giants look to go 5-0 in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. And then later, they'll look to avoid going 0-5. Dempster 3-ball. Rebounded eventually by Cohen Williams. Matthew says, I don't want that screen. Oh, just shimmies Jack Exeter out of the way. Rebound, not Dempster, Telfer. Oh, he throws it away though.
And they cannot afford that. The Airs go in the back as we see right now. Gone for a reset, looks like gone to 24, so that is not good for the Airs in terms of they're already battling against the clock at the moment.
Drew Green saying could have left it as it is, Marty. Give us a hand.
Always such a light of positivity, Drew Green. Top bloke.
Matthews gets the ball handed to him from his Nelson College coach. It's a great little wrinkle I always enjoy bringing up when these two play together, James Matthews and Sam Dempster. Hands it off to Will Blight. Oh, Matthews in there with the rebound and the finish. James Matthews up to 10 points.
And James Matthews
I tell you what, he's really making his mark on the Rapid League in general. And this could be a guy down the back end of the season if there's an All-Star 5 selection. He's going the right way for that. Very early days, though.
Exeter defense from Matthews gets away with a wee bit of a push off to Exeter, but nice pass, but the Tutu can't get the 3-ball to go. And they push it with 25 seconds to go. Do they? No, Cohen Williams just slowing things down. Will Blight sets the screen, the former Canterbury ramp. As Cohen Williams' 3-ball doesn't go. Rebounded by Telfer again. And they look to push it. Tamatea straight into Cohen Williams, who is waiting for the charge, called for the block.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to see again on the replay. Cohen Williams did a good job getting it across. Maybe didn't quite get those feet sets we see here on the GJ Gardner replay. Ooh. I mean, probably looking away with the scoreboard too. Give the ears a sniff at it for the last wee bit. Looks like the ears will be shooting here. Tamatea going to the line, so maybe the Giants will utilise the BNZ player timeout to try and get an extra bucket at the end. Very low scoring Rapid League game, Hugh.
Certainly is. Looking at the stats to see if there's any indication as to why. Oh, nearly got the assist from the top of the backboard there.
Yeah, those field goal percentages, I think, were the tail of the tape, really. The ears down to 25%, Giants at 30%. As Will Blight calls the BNZ player timeout.
Jordi Huata, you mentioned, has put together a nice little stat line there. Tom, 7.6 rebounds, double fifer.
Double fifer. Well bowled, sir. Yeah, he's been really physical down there, and I mean, he's had to battle with Will Blight, Sam Dempster, Lockie Crate a wee bit too, and has done a really good job, and has been a shining point for the Taranaki Airs this afternoon.
Brought to you by Baloncesto and Corn. Was Amy Jo Clark, Taylor Lynch, and crew chief Corey Hogg on the floor for the Rapid League tonight.
See what they go here. Look at the setup, not a play I recognise.
Dempster, a double contested 3-ball from the corner. Doesn't go, doesn't matter for the Giants, who go 5-0 in the Sky Broadband Rapid League season. They beat the Taranaki Airs 25-16 off the back of 10 points. James Matthews, 9 rebounds from Sam Dempster.
Yeah, great effort from Sammy D, great effort from James Matthews, and one of those games where, you know, the shots weren't falling, both teams had to grind, but it definitely wasn't through a lack of effort. You know, both teams working hard, but the Giants able to catch a wee bit of fire back then at the fourth quarter with some James Matthews magic.
So Kevin's Warehouse stats, Matthews 10 points, Inwood with 5, Jordi Huata, as we said, 7, and Quentin Bailey with 5 for the Airs.
Yeah, James Matthews again, really, as we go to the rebounds, and Sammy D just 3 shy of that record, and then Jordi Huata as well, really making his impact. But then James Matthews as well, those 4 rebounds, and some big ones over some bigger players. See Aston Inwood, James Matthews again in it with Riley Tuta, and then contributions from Bailey, Huata, and Dempster as well. Lockie Crate, a couple of big blocks. He tried to put one through the back wall. And James Matthews, I think, maybe first career block for him.
Started the game with a steal as well, the James Matthews. Stellar performance all round as the crowd fills in nicely at the Trafalgar Centre ahead of the NZNBL game this Saturday afternoon. The Nelson Giants taking on the Taranaki Airs live on Sky Sport from 4 o'clock, and we will see you then.
fella getting the jukes up. Dexter, 3-ball, drains it.
The 2016 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Bryce
Jones flies into space, up he goes, two-hand slam, Conrad to Hayden Jones. Great for three, McNaught. Yeah, that looked good from the hand from Alex McNaught. John picks it up, goes down, let it shot. Oh, how about that? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome out onto the court your NBS Nelson Giants. James Matthews, Lockie Craig, Sean Williams, Will Blight, Caleb Chamberlain, Aston Inwood, Sam Dempster, Alex McNaught, Hayden Johns, Liam Dunn, Callum Dalton and Bryce Johnson. Welcome to Nelson, welcome to the hangar, the Taranaki Ears. Once again, if you have just joined us, welcome to the Trafalgar Centre. Welcome to the hangar. Our NBS Nelson Giants up against the Taranaki Ears tonight. a reminder to check for the closest fire exit in the unlikely event of an emergency. If a doctor is required at any stage during the game tonight, come down to the MC area for any assistance. Toilets, of course, located behind the corporate box area, also in the foyer as well. And the bar is now open, serving spring and food crafted beer, wine from Hunter's Wines as well. Not forgetting the low alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks. The canteen also in the foyer. Good chance now to stop up before the game. Sal's authentic New York pizza and hot chips available at the canteen. Can we get both teams to the benches, please? Both teams to the benches. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the hangar. Welcome to the Trafalgar Centre. Back at home, our MBS Nelson Giants up against the Taranaki Ears tonight. Thank you for coming along and supporting. One more game at home before they're away for a few weeks. Couple of big games to come. One of those tonight against the Taranaki Ears. Welcome to the Taranaki Ears. Number 4, Jerome Tamatia. Number 1, Scott Telfer. Number 32, Quinton Bailey. Number 29, Jordi Hoyata. Number 8, Riley Tuata. Number 9, Lyric Tuhaka. 0, Jack Exeter. Starting 5 for the Taranaki Ears tonight. Number 30, Owen Foxwell. Number 7, Amon Fletcher. Number 2, Cullen Davison. Number 11, Harry Froling. and number 21, Jack Andrew. Your NBS Nelson Giants tonight. Number 35, sponsored by On Farm Agri, James Matthews. Number 15, Lockie Crates. Number 6, Cohen Williams. Number 16, sponsored by GRE Services, Will Blights. Number 7, Caleb Chamberlain. Number 23, Aston Inwood, sponsored by NMIT. Number 10, and your captain, sponsored by New World Stokes, Sam Dempster. Starting 5 for the NBS Nelson Giants tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Nort here, sponsored by Resource, Alex McNaught. In the starting 5 tonight, sponsored by Roscoe Contracting, number 13, Hayden Jones. Sponsored by Helen Ruston, Casey and Co, 67, Liam Judd. Number 51, Callum Dalton and Big Bryce Johnson, your number 11. Your NBS Nelson Giants for 2025.
No mai hoki mai, ki whakatū. Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre in downtown Nelson, ready for the main event this Saturday afternoon. South NBL round 4 action between the NBS Nelson Giants and the Steel Formers Taranaki Airs. Hugh Baden here alongside former Nelson Giant Tom Ingham. And Tom, we encounter a Nelson Giants team in desperate need of a win.
Yeah, it seemed to be a wee bit of a theme the past few seasons. I mean, they started at 0-3 last season, 0-5 the season before, and find themselves at 0-4, as you see there on the Mick and Picks. Not looking too flash, but they'll definitely be looking to, get the monkey off the back and get the first win tonight.
In stark contrast to their Rapid League team, who are 5-0. You'll see the Rams lead the league, and in some fashion as well. The Rams 4-1, as are the Fight. The Rams playing some simply sublime basketball at the moment. An absolute pleasure to watch. The Bulls and the Saints, Jets and the Nuggets make up the remainder of the top 6. Into the bottom half we go, and if it wasn't for the nascent Indian Panthers, the Giants would be bottom of the pile, 0-4. Their points difference only not looking too bad due to their Rapid League form. So time to turn it around, and some moves made in the week, which we'll talk about shortly. Here are the upcoming fixtures. A little bit later this afternoon from Tauranga, the Fire taking on the Hawks. The Nuds down in Dunedin against the Tuatara tomorrow. Jets taking on the Saints in a bit of a local derby in Palmerston North. And the Panthers at the Stockyard on Sunday taking on the Sharks.
Yeah, interesting there with the Bulls graphic. I'm interested to see how that goes with the old Panthers out there.
Certainly will be to see starting five for the Airs. Carlton Davison, who's been an absolute force and just gets better and better before our eyes as his career goes on. Fletcher, Andrew Foxwell, who leads the lead in assists, and Harry Froling, who is quite a specimen. And let's hear from their head coach, Sam McKinnon.
Here with Taranaki Airs coach Sam McKinnon. Coach, welcome back into the country. Obviously a tough one on Wednesday night. What's been the focus over these last 3 days?
Yeah, I've just flown back myself, so just watching the game from afar, I just think obviously the Rams executed really well. Our defensive coverages weren't what I wanted them to be. So just, I guess the focus for us has been in the right spots defensively, and then getting multiple stops and then running our offense. So I guess that's the key for us.
And coming into TC tonight against the Giants, still searching for their first win. What's the focus so you can keep them winless?
Yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it? Like every team's going to break that duck at some stage, so we just have the right mental approach to the game. I've had a few delayed flights and we just arrived 45 minutes ago, so just come in with that right mindset to listen, be disciplined, and keep them winless, I guess.
Good luck, mate. All the best for tonight.
And there's the brains trust for the Taranaki Airs. Sam McKinnon missed the last game over in America, helping his son navigate the transfer portal system of his college career, and was the only Airs member to be in Nelson last night after the weather bomb affected them coming in today. The team arrived eventually, though. As we see the Giants starting five. Hayden Jones, number 13, on the bat. The famed number in the building will start tonight. Jalen Forbes let go in the week by head coach and general manager Mike Fitchett, and it's the young Richmond kid who's going to step up in his spot tonight. He starts in the backcourt alongside Alex McNaught, Liam Judd, who's been a shining light for this Giants side so far in 2025. And Bryce Johnson and Callum Dalton make up the starting five for the Giants head coach, Mike Fitchett.
Here with Nelson Giants coach Mike Fitchett. Fitch, Jalen Forbes gone home this week. Who's stepping into the starting spot, and what do you expect out of your boys for tonight in his absence?
Yeah, Hayden Jones is going to step into the starting lineup. Obviously had a really good season so far, both in the Rapid League and in the NBL. You know, he's 10 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, so he's with more minutes. I'm looking forward to showing what he can do. But a bit of a group effort. Lockie Crate needs to come in, play a little bit more. Yeah, we just need to fill those minutes across the board.
And the Airs coming in tonight after a tough loss themselves. What's the focus so you can get the first dub of the season?
Slowing them down is a huge focus for us. They like to run. Carlton Davison in the full court's a pretty scary thought. So whether we can play great defensive transition and build some walls in front of him, that'll help us. And then they're smashing people on the boards. I think the best rebounding team in the league. So a couple of effort areas for us tonight. And, you know, when you're 0-4, if you don't come and bring the effort, what are you going to do?
Cheers, mate. Good luck for tonight.
And there's assistant coach Phil Jones back in the coaching staff, and left me here in Coventry, but back in the coaching staff and in charge of his son there in the background, Hayden Jones as well. As I said during the Rapid League game, Tom, 44th year of Giants basketball in this building, and two favoured sons in Fitchett and Jones, who are running the cutter and looking to turn around this poor start to the season, which we can see here in the NZNBL head-to-head.
Yeah, Chemist Warehouse stats. As you can see there, the points per game is a massive one. The Airs were the top of the league before the Rams game on Wednesday night, and the Giants obviously struggling down at 12th right now. So they'll really need to look to push the pace, I think, to up the tempo and try to get more points in. I think the shots as well, the Airs lead that also compared to the Giants, 70. The free throw attempts, Airs also lead that as well, and they also lead points in the paint. So a massive challenge for the Giants tonight, but if you want to get a win on the board, this is the time to do it.
Marty Davison, Corey Hogg, Amy Jo Clark will don the whistles for this one. Tom, you've been part of many Giants sides and a couple of Nugget sides in there as well during your career. Ever been part of a season where an import's been let go mid-season, and when it does happen, what is the vibe? How is the rebound? Can there be a rebound before the next import arrives?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot, because you build a relationship with the guy and then all of a sudden he's let go. So it's pretty tough, because you develop friendships and then they go on their way. But you know, the biggest thing is you have to regroup. You have to identify that, especially because it is an 0-4 start. There's not a time to feel sorry for what has happened, but instead move forward. And I think with this Giants group, they definitely have the capability with young locals to step up in that absence of Forbes and what he could not quite offer in his role as of current.
And it seems quite ruthless and callous to outsiders. But it is a short season, and those roles are those roles for a reason. They are the main men on a lot of teams. They're not long-term projects that you can afford to just move to the bench for a few games and build on them for next season. They're in to do a job for one season, then they're on to the next contract. So when the job's not being done, it's a tough decision to make, but a necessary one for the head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, it's only 22 games in this season. Giants are already all through 4 already. They need to make sure that, you know, they need a win right now. They don't want to be staring down the barrel of something like 0-7, 0-8, where it requires a ridiculous back season run. So it needs to start tonight for the Giants.
Well, the Rapid League team has done its job. They extended the record to 5-0. A few extra points on the ladder do go the way. There's Carlin Davison, Liam Judd and Brace.
I'm looking forward to that matchup tonight. Liam Judd currently leading the league at a blistering 71% from three-point range. And then you've also got Carlin Davidson, who is having a career year undoubtedly, as we see how good the Giants ball crew run onto the court.
They're serious about their work.
Have to be. Big job.
Can't play without a ball, can you?
Absolutely not.
That Judd-Davison matchup, two of the most exciting, explosive young players in the league, both with their own style, their own swagger too. It's going to be great fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is another matchup I'm looking forward to. You see on screen, Jack Andrew is a guy that goes about his business really quietly, but is already averaging 14 points, 10 rebounds. And then Harry Froling you see there in shot as well. That's the Twin Towers down low, and then you add Carlin Davison also rebounding 9 times per game. It's a dangerous team on the glass.
Carlin Davison spends most of his game about 12 foot in the air anyway. We're underway. The Giants control the tech. Good crowd in the Trafalgar Centre on a Saturday afternoon. Tane Jones looks inside to Bryce Johnson. Fires it right across Judd. Thought about the catch and shoot. Davidson up in his grill. Tips it out of bounds. It's come off Judd though. So here's possession.
And straight away, the Giants looking to go to Bryce Johnson at the post again. Talking to Coach Fitchett before the game, something he really wanted to do was push the pace. But in that first instance, trying to get Bryce Johnson going, good D from Carlin Davison.
Here's Froling, who cuts somewhat of a Nikola Jokic figure out there on the court as Davidson drives and is fouled by Johnson.
And that's what the Giants have got a wee bit guilty of. You see Bryce Johnson there again, sitting in that deep drop on the dribble handoff. You cannot afford Carlin Davison getting downhill. The Rams did a really good job at playing up to touch, but the Giants allowing that deep drop, and that's bread and butter for Carlin Davison.
This is his first from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Averaging just a touch under 24 points a game for the season and over 9 rebounds and over 5 assists is Carlin.
Heck of a stat line. You know, obviously with the Breakers full-time contract now too, you know, he's making some waves in his career. It's good to see.
Well, turned down college a few years ago to Carlin. Chased the professional dream and it's worked out for him. Bryce Johnson, baseline spin, jumper, doesn't go. Who's going to come down with that one? Hayden Jones, just tipped away though. And again, Davison comes up with it. Picked out though, intercepted, you could say, by Liam Judd. Here's Jones in the corner, McNaught. Oh, blocked, there's Carlin Davison. He talked about living his life in the air.
And McNaught looking to shoot the early 3 ball. He's obviously had the word in camp that he needs to look at, as we got the foul there. Word the camp and that he needs to be aggressive and look to take those shots. But a guy like Carlin Davison flying, maybe a wee up fake, get to the cup.
Have a look at here at the replay.
Pretty good position there from Judd. Maybe a wee bit guilty of leaning that hip in, but could definitely see an argument there as Fletcher goes to the Chemist Warehouse. Both teams in Rapid League struggled to put the ball in the bucket, and we haven't seen a field goal as yet, only a minute in, but it'll be interesting to see if that carries over or if they can catch a heater.
Froling just about scaring the bejesus out of whoever was in the corporate table there as he came trundling towards him.
It is a large specimen rolling towards you.
He's got control over it though. Here's Jones. Giants will be looking for him to be aggressive and look to score today. Pulls up from the elbow, looks to get the score going, and sweet as that, Hayden Jones on the board.
And that's a great sign. With Forbes going, who is predominantly a catch-and-shoot type of player, Jones gives them a bit more ball handling, which is what they've been lacking. So it's really good to see him get on the board early.
Froling with the miss, but Jack Andrew, the other tower, with the putback.
And that's what he does. Andrew quietly goes about his business as Jones transition three.
Dalton right in there. Carlin Davidson comes down with the rebound and looks to push the pace. Fletcher coming in from the back. Jones did really well to deny the alley-oop, and there's McNaught with the steal. He drives, Foxwell slaps it out of bounds. Giants possession.
Great job there from McNaught getting him passing lanes. Even though the first three-point shot got blocked, it's clear that he's got an intention to push the ball and try to get himself involved in this game, which is fantastic to see. You see there, great hand, and he's off to the races.
Great test for McNaught today, going up against Owen Foxwell. Over the top he goes to Bryce Johnson. Oh, three ball, deep one from Johnson, doesn't go. Another rebound from Carlin Davidson.
And Bryce Johnson's shown that he's more than capable to hit that shot, but maybe quite early in the offense there, could have got something, get the ball rotating around.
Andrew hands it off to Davidson, fires it over to Foxwell. McNaught on him, cuts it on the baseline expertly and finishes well, Owen Foxwell.
And Foxwell didn't have a great game against the Rams, especially by his standards, so he'll be looking to come out, have a strong one. Had a great Aussie NBL season, so making his mark on this game early.
Dalton finds Jones in the corner, and the three ball drop for Hayden Jones, who has all five of the Giants' early points here.
And that starts from McNaught getting into the paint early doors, hits Johnson on the short roll, and that's what the Giants have been missing, getting those paint touches, kickouts, and easy looks there for Hayden Jones.
Oh, Colin Davidson looking to punch it. He's fouled.
I'd love to see the replay on that. That could have been a heck of a poster, but as we know, Carlin Davidson's able to turn downhill. It is dangerous. And you see there again, if you're Bryce Johnson, you need to give Liam Judd a wee bit of help on there. Right now, he's really connected to Froling, and obviously Froling is a rolling threat, but you need to be mindful. If Davidson gets a head of steam, you can be in a Sports Centre highlight really, really quickly.
He is electric.
And as we hear Mike Fitch on the sideline reminding Bryce Johnson that maybe he hasn't quite been up to touch on that dribble handoff, but only the one foul, so he'll be happy with that so far.
Yeah, Bryce Johnson thought that they might have called that one on him. I think it was called on Hayden Jones. Davison gets his second to go, and it's an 8-5 lead to the Airs. 3 minutes gone in this first quarter. Dempster into the game for Johnson, hands it off to McNaught.
And this is where it can get a wee bit disjointed for the Giants, where they don't have that tempo up the floor as McNaught pushes. We floated, but they don't quite have that tempo. The Airs are able to disrupt their flow, and that's ultimately why the Giants right now are the lowest scoring team in the league.
Foxwell with the turnaround on the left, can't get it to go. Judd with the rebound. McNaught fouled at half court. Unlucky one for Fletcher. The Giants bench wanting the unsportsmanlike. I tend to agree with the referee crew here. I'm not sure it wasn't unsportsmanlike. We don't play the same rule in the NBA of a clear path.
Yeah, it looked like he made an attempt at the ball. I would be, oh, heck of an expression there. Fitchett,
oh,
very
mate,
animated.
when you sit in these seats, you see them all. You see every angle of the Fitchett expressions.
In fairness, you see it 3 seats down on the bench too most of the time, so it's not new to me.
Dalton with the handoff. It's Jones. Could have taken the three instead of resets. Won't mind that mismatch. Finds Crate, and Dalton is absolutely harassed by the Airs. Back to Crate, back to Jones. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sizes up Harry Froling, puts up the three ball. High off the back iron. Oh, Dalton does really well, almost to keep it in Giants' possession.
And even though results haven't gone the Giants' way, Dalton's been super consistent in his effort, his energy, and in terms of their down low right now, the Giants aren't a great rebounding team, but Dalton does a really good job at, you know, making his presence felt down that defensive end. You see the effort on the offensive glass there.
Here's Fletcher around the Froling screen, almost had his pocket picked by Lockie Crate. Couldn't Bailey into the game now. Foxwell, quick footwork. Fletcher, 3-ball, drops for the Airs.
And great hit by Fletcher, but if you're the Giants, you're happy with that defensive possession. Did a good job at rotating, staying in front, but great offense beats better defense.
Dalton puts the ball on the floor, goes downhill, takes a bit of contact, and the call comes late, but comes from Marty Davison. And Kellen Dalton will go to the line to shoot 2.
Just looking at it, looks like it's Froling's first foul. So really important for the Airs that he is staying out of foul trouble, because he's a guy, it's great to see him back from that long layoff, but has really made his mark felt in this league as Dalton can't quite capitalize on the first. The Giants right now the lowest shooting free throw percentage in the team, so I'm sure with Fitch and Jones in particular being great free throw shooters throughout their career, there'll be some hard chats that are happening in that locker room.
5-point lead to the Airs as we approach the midway point of this first quarter. Froling hands it off to Fletcher. Jones chasing him. Dempster waiting for him. Fletcher with a delicate finish.
And able to turn the corner then, but a great job by the big from the Airs. Got out of that really early as we see Foxwell really getting up the floor, putting the pressure on McNaught. But the fact that he got out the screen early meant that Dalton couldn't come and help as much.
Crate off the handoff, 3-ball, doesn't go, rebounded by Foxwell.
And the Airs doing a good job for a start at really disjointing the Giants' offense, and the Giants need to make sure that they're really looking to push the tempo, not allowing the defense to get set.
Froling with the lead pass. Davison bounces off his foot, but it comes back to Quinton Bailey. He gets up to his preferred right hand, but can't get it to go. Dalton with the rebound. Here come the Giants the other way, but not. Almost leaves it behind. Dempster from the wing for 3. That's off to the left. And it's Bailey with the board.
And a bit better tempo there for McNaught obviously makes it easy when it's a turnover, but it's really important that pace has to be there for the Giants, especially with this lineup on the floor. They are fit, they are fast, and they need to be able to show that.
Froling can drop it into Fletcher, tied up with Jones. A foul.
And Froling is, not only is he very dangerous in being able to score, has elite footwork, is a fantastic passer as well. So really important that guys are cutting and making themselves available, because he will find them, as it looks like the Giants opting for a timeout.
Timeout for the Giants. Second foul called on Hayden Jones.
Georgia Canada on the guns tonight.
And again, only 6 points in that first minute, first pass, 5.5 minutes, sorry. So it's really important. Giants, that's been something they've talked about during the week, and talking to the players, talking to Coach Fitcher, it's something they've really focused on is upping the tempo, getting out and running, because ultimately that's the brand of basketball they need to be playing to be able to get up over that 79 point per game average right now, which isn't good enough to win basketball games.
Fletcher with a fast start to this one. 6 of the Airs, 13 points.
And Fletcher's almost, he's like the Swiss Army knife in the mix, because you've got Foxwell as your point guard, he's running the show. Carlin Davison is often responsible for a lot of the points that are happening in transition. You've got 2 bigs in terms of Andrew and Froling that are really able to make their presence felt down low. Fletcher kind of does it all. He can shoot the ball a bit, he's able to slash really well, has a wee bit of a handle, so it rounds out their starting 5, and it is a dangerous starting 5.
Foxwell remains on the bench after the timeout. Jack Exeter will see his first bit of action this afternoon.
James Matthews into the game too, which is great to see.
Oh, Quinton Bailey, and they drew it up and they execute it perfectly to the Airs off the timeout. A two-handed jam from the Stratford Stallion. Judd, 3-ball, doesn't go. Big rebound by Lockie Crate, but Carlin Davison just takes it straight out of his hands, finds Fletcher, who's fouled, and will shoot 2 at the other end.
And the Giants really can't afford those ones. The Taranaki Airs, when you watch their game against the Hawke's Bay Hawks, they got out and running, and when they have that free-flowing type of offense and transition, it's dangerous. You see no one on safety there. Giants are a jamming team, so should be up jamming one-on-one with their player, but then you see Fletcher able to leak out. Can't afford that. Fletcher able to capitalise on the first one. Coach Fitchett. Oh, gun break. I thought he'd had enough.
Just being a tidy Kiwi, thought he'd walked out the gym. That was a poor three-point shooting display from the Giants in their previous game, 7 for 24. Tom and the Rapid League today, they were 1 for 13, and so far in this game, as Matthews gets downhill and finishes, they're 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. So surely some three ball is going to drop soon.
You would have to think so in terms of lower percentages, but James Matthews, he did this in the Tuatara, really came in, looked to attack off on-ball screens, and if the Airs are going to sit in a deep drop, the Giants need to explore that.
He's done a good job of harassing Jack Exeter so far as the lean-back, one-footed, three-ball floater from Armour Fletcher drops.
And that's a couple of threes, and where if you're the Giants, you're happy with that possession. And Liam Judd, you really can't do much better. Sometimes there's an arm on Fletcher.
There he is again after getting the steal. Cool as you like with the left hand, doesn't go, but it'll go to the Chemist Warehouse stripe to shoot 2.
And again, like we talked about, this Taranaki team, they're looking to get a rebound and looking to push the tempo, but in particular, if there's turnovers, they are out and running, and they are really dangerous. And Armon Fletcher, he has really got his fingerprints all over this game to start.
That's McNaught getting set to come back into the game.
Fletcher already up to 10 points. So he's someone currently sitting at around 14 points per game. He's definitely making his mark on this game. All smiles right now, and I would be too if I was him. Looks like, but gutted he was subbed out of the game there, to be fair.
On a heater. Everything going his way. Great back to James Matthews, going around the Johnson screen. Looking to find a bit of space. The pass picked off the shoelaces by McNaught. 7 on the shot clock here. They've got to do something. Johnson, pump fake, drives, the floater, gets it to go.
And great finish from Johnson, but the spacing for the Giants right now is just not up to par. Right now you've got a guy on that bottom corner you can see on that screen. Guy in the corner, guy on the wing, and a guy trying to come off the on-ball. Pretty hard to be effective as the Airs can guard that very easily.
Johnson with the hedge, almost with the turnover. Foxhole, well, he recovers magnificently. Froling can't get it to go, though, and Dempster plucks it off the rim.
And I love to see that from Johnson. He's been sitting in a deep drop most of his time here in Nelson, but gets out in hard shows and shown that he is effective doing that.
Dempster turns down the 3. Johnson does not. Leaves it short, though. Andrew, and away they go through Froling. The two bigs combining in the delicate finish from Harry Froling.
And maybe, obviously, Johnson can shoot that, but right now when offense isn't flowing, you get an ill-advised shot, and they can get out and run. Airs really capitalizing in transition right now.
That's the first foul for Owen Foxwell.
Foxwell, their general, currently leading the league in assists per game at 8.8, and a lot of those are him getting out in transition, him able to attack off on-ball screen. So I think the hard show from the Giants is a good adjustment.
Here's Matthews, back to McNaught. McNaught stepping through a lot of contact. The whistle eventually comes.
And that's good from McNaught in terms of he's getting that lane, still taking his time, but still looking to attack and be a threat on the hoop. As you see right there, puts Exeter in jail. Telfer maybe a wee bit late, but McNaught needs to continue to explore that, as even if he's not getting a look, it's going to enable the defense to help. Easy looks for the Giants.
Johnson to McNaught, then he sets the screen. There's big Bryce Johnson, gets it back. spinning turnaround jumper off the glass. Pretty stuff.
And that is smooth, and I think that comes from the Giants looking to move the ball, keeping it going. Just the single side on ball screen there, but just then was enough.
It's a comfortable early lead with a minute to go for the Airs. They'll be happy with their first quarter of work. Lead 24-12. Foxwell firing it right over. He had the luxury of being able to throw it way up in the air to Harry Froling, who does the rest. Big mismatch on James Matthews.
Yeah, great job from McNaught there, but you got to see that Matthews has the mismatch. He needs that help.
McNaught gets downhill to the rim and is fouled. Will go to the Chemist Warehouse to shoot 2.
And again, it's great from McNaught, as you see right there. If you're James Matthews, there's not really a lot you can do. But McNaught looking to push the tempo, and if guys are getting up and in and trying to disrupt, he needs to make sure that he's a threat on the rim. So you see him get rewarded for that at the Chemist Warehouse right now.
Dalton back into the game, Inwood into the game as well for the Giants.
Masked Inwood.
The masked man for the Airs as their starting lineup back out there with 45 or so seconds to go in this first quarter.
So Aston Inwood and Callum Dalton now back on.
McNaught mates them both.
I'd say there'd be a relieved coach Fitchett to see 2 for 2 go down there rather than a 1 for 2 and 0 for 2. But with Inwood checking into this game for the Giants, I expect the tempo to pick up a wee bit, because if they do go to that second side where McNaught swings the ball cross court, Inwood's really good at engaging the defender and looking to push the tempo. A bit smaller compared to some of the other bigs, but he makes up for that in speed and physicality.
.40 seconds to go in the first quarter, which has belonged to the Airs. Here's Fletcher, who's led the way for them so far.
And the Giants have dropped to a zone, but great patience there from the Airs. You see Jack Andrew get the seal. But interesting move from the Giants, trying to stop the Twin Towers inside.
The hole for the last shot. Dalton comes to set the screen for McNaught. Gets it back. Matthews from the wing for 3. Gets it to go, James Matthews.
And this is a great sign for the Giants. James Matthews, he's a guy that really got his first taste of decent NBL minutes in the last game and impressed, and has come out here for a start. Nicely take to the cup, and you see there, able to splash the 3. Great signs for the Giants.
Well, 1 quarter in the book, 28-17, the lead to the Taranaki Airs.
And down the other end, Alfie. Our friends at NBX, the winning charity, will take away $1,000 in cash. 500 for the runner-up. 45. Mark, set, go! Do need the markers to keep an eye out for cash. We need to drive the track down this end, okay? We got $1 the team's up. Alfie's up. So Kiwi is shooting hoops for Abel Tasman Birdsong tonight. Alfie is shooting for the Marport Volunteer Fire Brigade. How many have we got down this end? 3 down this end. How are we going at Alfie's end? 15 seconds to go. Nice work, Alfie. Keep you running up for another one. Just 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. What do we get down here? 5. Down this end. 3. So I'm going to say congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Kiwi. Of course, taking out $1,000. Nice work, Alfie. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say thank you to NBS. Of course, the Hoops, the charity.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre, second quarter, just moments away. The Taranaki Airs lead 28-17 over the Nelson Giants. The Giants looking to get their first win of the young season. And if you're looking for your meal tonight, how about $25.99 for a large cheese pizza from our friends at Sal's? Use the online code SALSPASS25 or scan the QR code on your screen. And you could be in pizza heaven while you watch a fun-filled evening of Sal's NBL hoops. Rolling, 3-ball, starts the quarter in style for the Airs.
And Froling showing the touch outside as well. Definitely more than capable of hitting that shot. So Giants have to be aware of that. Maybe look at a switch if Froling pops.
Matthews downhill after the hesitation, and he goes to 7 points. The head boy at Nelson College in 2025.
And not a great start for the Giants in terms of the score, but James Matthews will take a lot of confidence. You see him up in Owen Foxwell right now, really making life uncomfortable.
There he is, all the way down, but Foxwell somehow still manages to score.
Yeah, again, great job from Matthews, but that just shows the experience. Oh, right call too.
Foxwell giving some of it back and forcing the turnover. You see this come off James Matthews' heel, I think.
I think Matthews definitely has the speed in which he doesn't really have to play around with the ball there. He can look at attacking one way, burn the other, and I think that's where the Giants have had a lot of issue in terms of getting set up into their offense. Need to look to push the tempo, and I think if you've got Inwood back there, don't be afraid to throw it to him and go straight to the second side.
Of course, the Giants minus an import at the moment. Jalen Forbes been let go by the Giants during the week. In the market for a replacement as Froling looks to shoot another 3. Dalton with a good hand twice. He can't get it to go the third time. Froling. Dalton with a good defense. Giants go the other way. Desperate need getting the ball in the basket. McNaught fires it over. Matthews in front of his own bench. The 3-ball doesn't go. Big rebound after a good box out from Armand Fletcher. Foxwell, oh, what a pass to the Twizel kid, Jack Andrew.
And if you're the Giants, that absolutely cannot happen. The centre cannot be outrunning everyone. See Lockie Crate highlight. But the Giants cannot afford any more of those transition baskets. It's too easy for the Taranaki Airs right now.
Throw it through. Pulls it back 21-35.
Foul called off the ball. Aston Inwood, a little too handsy with Fletcher.
Yeah, and yes, he has to be. He has to make sure that Fletcher's not going to get off anymore. Currently sitting at 3 for 3 right now. But if you look there, great backdoor cut. Lockie Crate can do that. He's a threat coming off and getting downhill, but able to get backdoor too.
He's Froling. Unlucky not to get the whistle as well, and he finishes.
And points in the paint. There's the best team in the league in terms of getting in the paint, finishing. Giants have to be able to be physical in there, cannot allow those easy baskets.
Matthews rips, goes towards the baseline. Deflected from Foxwell. Dalton can't finish though. Davison comes down with it. He's got Foxwell to his left. Settles down over halfway. Driving. The double clutch and the finish.
And a rejected screen. Matthews will be a bit disappointed in that one. Davison able to reject that. Get downhill, puts the Giants in rotation. Easy basket. Love Davison's energy right now. Obviously getting to the cup and making that nice finish, but he's up active in passing lanes and is disrupting the Giants' flow. Still only 21 points and well into the second quarter right now.
Dalton. Double team is threatened. Matthews with a good cut. Jack Andrews leaps across and swats it out of bounds. Giants possession.
And that's good from the Giants. Often the ball goes in the post and everyone starts ball watching a wee bit. You can't afford to do that. Allows the Airs to sink in. So great look from Matthews.
Here he is on the wing to Dalton with 8 seconds on the shot clock. McNaught around the screen. Hesitate back to the big Aussie, and the floater's a pretty one.
Great action. You see McNaught getting below the free throw line, and that's where it comes down from. But now the Giants have to get back and get a stop.
Davidson around the screen. He gets 2 feet in the paint, hands it off. Oh, Lockie Crate meets Jack Andrew at the rim for the block, and the Giants come the other way. Matthews wide open for 3. Drains it, James Matthews, and a little bit of energy around the Trafalgar Centre as Sam McKinnon calls a timeout for the Airs. Still trailed by 13 to the Giants, but some signs of life.
They'll be up. James Matthews is a local guy. A lot of the guys in the crowd will know him, as you see right there. He gets lost. Matthews shoots out with confidence, wills that in. But this is fantastic for James Matthews. He's a guy who has worked his tail off. He's come up through that New Zealand age group system, was the starting point guard for the team that came fourth at the World Champs. And you look at him now, done it on the Rapid League level, has been one of the best performers in Rapid League. Now you see him in the main game, that confidence is growing, and Matthews can be a contributor for the Giants for a long time to come.
This way, you ready? 1,
Two-time champion at regional level as well for Nelson and the Nationals, leading the way there as starting point guard. He's a winner.
Certainly is a winner. Baseball guru too. The guy's an absolute gun on the diamond from what I hear.
He's a dual internationals, represented New Zealand age grade level baseball and basketball. That's a man, and he's head boy at Nelson College, which I mentioned. There's a man with a fair few options ahead of him, put it that way.
Yeah, talented kid. I won't tell him that though, we'll just keep that to the broadcast, I think.
Meanwhile, this air side won't be panicking too much. They lead by 13.
And I think it comes from transition. Everything has come from transition right now. A couple of back cuts as well for the Airs. Giants need to stop that. Get the Airs into half-court offense. They've put a couple of good possessions together when they've slowed the Airs down that have ultimately finished in a couple of tough finishes from Fletcher.
39-26.
Here is Fletcher. Gets us back underway with 7 minutes to go in this first half.
Giants still sitting in that zone. See if they can disrupt the flow a wee bit.
All Jack Andrew left wide open. Lockie Crate coming again to meet him. Commits the foul this time, and Andrew will go to the line for one more.
And a wee bit of a disconnect. The on-ball screen came, but you've seen it looked like Dalton went to that hard show. And when he's the last line of defense, it makes it really hard. So Crate's a wee bit late in the rotation, but something that they maybe don't need to do if it is the zone. Allow him to come off. Dalton can sit a wee bit more connected.
Seen a few defensive miscommunications, Tom. I wonder if it's because this is a lineup that at the start of the season, Mike Fletcher probably didn't expect to be running out in the second quarter of the round 4 game.
Well, yeah, that's it, right? Obviously, they've had a wee bit of as McNaught turns it over. But, yeah, they have had a wee bit of disruption early doors. But, you know, these guys need to figure it out. Otherwise, they're staring down the barrel of an extremely long season.
Hayden Jones getting ready to check back into the game after 2 early fouls. Here's Foxwell. Oh, Aston Inwood does well to come away with the steal.
And great job from Inwood. Although he's a bit small, that's what he can do. He's a lot more active. And I would like to see the Giants right now again. It's too easy for the Airs to get up in passing lanes. You've seen Crate have an effective backdoor cut. Maybe the Giants need to start throwing that in the mix. They can't be pushed around.
James Matthews gets a warm round of applause as he makes his way to the bench. 10 points for him so far. Jones and Judd back into the game. Dalton catch and shoot for 3. Gave him the space, and he took all 3 of them.
And there we go. That's a better look for the Giants. It's something off a dribble move, off a bit of penetration, and that's what you need. You can't afford to have these ones where it's swing, swing, shoot, get into the paint, create something.
Froling rattles it in reply straight away. The Aussies trading buckets, the 2 big men. Tapped out of bounds by Carlin Davison.
And it's the same thing. The Airs are up in passing lanes, and Jones did a good job to hold his spot right there, but maybe he could have faded a bit more to the corner, give himself a bit more room so he can catch and shoot that thing, or catch and rip to the basket.
The scout's been done well by the Airs. They're expecting those passes to the wings from the Giants, and they're there for every single one of them. Jones curling off the off-ball screen, and that has come off Jones, so will be Airs possession as Scott Telfer checks into the game and gives Fletcher a break. Well, Bear's flying.
Ben Douglas,
chairman of the Giants board.
He'll be a bit gutted about that.
He'll be.
New Sprig and Fern, please.
44-29, 5.5 to go in the first half. Davidson rips, rejects the screen, no-look pass is an absolute beauty. Great ball movement from the Airs, but Scott Telfer blows the bunny.
And they got out of jail there. Another reject. You really cannot afford to be rejected on on-ball screens. See Davison applying the pressure.
Judd driving. Dalton gets Froling to bite. McNaught for three. Gets it to go.
And that's what Alex McNaught needs to do. Catch, shoot that thing, not even hesitate. He is more than capable of shooting it, and is only going to get better with more and more game reps that he shoots.
Of course, individual player sponsor resource for Alex McNaught.
Bryce Johnson getting ready to come back into the game as Froling draws a foul off Dalton. And I think we might see a change in the defensive coverage here. Fair bit more hard show and less of the drops from Bryce Johnson as he comes back into the game. Only used for just over 6 minutes so far, which is probably the last thing Mike Fitcher wanted to do, already an import down.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. He on the defensive end has probably left a wee bit to be desired, but let's see if he can come in now and make an impact.
McNaught does well, but the Airs come back with it, and Froling can't get the three to go. Down by 12. Here's Hayden Jones downhill. Good seal from Johnson, and Jones gets the hoop, the harm. He'll go to the line for one more.
And great job. You can just see the intent of the Giants there. It's a whole lot different when it's an open floor, but you're actually looking to push the ball and not worried about that defender. And if there is a defender there stepping up, move it on, get it to the next side, keep it flowing.
Hayden Jones, a very good free throw shooter, completes the three-point play.
Giants currently at 80% from the line, so that's a lot more positive compared to previous weeks.
Bit of a off the ball action there between Jones and Davison as well. Jones got to be careful with 2 fouls to his name already as they settle back into their zone. Davison wanted to pass. Telfer, though, loses the handle. Jones comes away with it. Zigzags behind Bright Johnson up the court. The long two. The old school for Bryce Johnson. Takes half a foot into beyond the arc and just drains the long two.
Not a statistician shot, but as we see Davison right now talking to Corey Hogg, not happy with something that's going on.
Well, it was a little bit off the ball action between Hayden Jones and Carlin Davison.
And the Giants now down 7 points. So I think that has come. The defensive intensity rotations were a lot better, and Johnson in the game that time was a lot more active, which is great to see. But it's going to come down to how active you are on defense and then how quickly you can get out and running, because that's where the Giants have had the most success in scoring so far this season. And I like this with Inwood out here too. I think he's also made the motion move a lot quicker, and defensively you notice that even though a wee bit undersized, and obviously you got Froling and Andrew there, he's a lot more active looking to front the post and disrupting passing lanes, which they need to do.
24-27.
Often described as a glue guy, Aston Inwood. I'd say he's more of a lotion guy. Just, you know, things move a lot smoother when Aston Inwood is out there. He's definitely got a hint of the vouchers about him in the way he plays, and doesn't show up too much on the stat sheet, but things just move a lot slicker when Aston Inwood's out on the court. Back underway with Foxwell. Finds Jack Andrew. Johnson on him. Coming back from there's a travel call that the Giants bench have been begging for most of this game. Called on Carlin Davison. He's not happy as he looks down at the bench.
Nah, he's not. There's some evil eyes going down there, so really interesting to see what transpires in this next few minutes.
Certainly fired up as young Carlin. It's going to be some theatre, that's for sure. As I was saying, Johnson coming off the back of a pretty horrific injury that he's had to work his way back from. Jones double teamed. Turns the corner. Turnaround, spinning jumper. Fletcher did really well to get a hand up, and Bailey comes away with the rebound. A hard show from Johnson. Forces Foxwell into a pass. 3-ball from Davison. Doesn't go. Judd comes down with it. Jones to his left. That's who he finds. Up with the left, and he just sneaks it in. Just Hayden Jones, who's come back from his stint on the bench with some renewed aggression.
Absolutely, and Bryce Johnson there getting out and hard showing it is the difference. It's a lot more active. You cannot allow these guys to get downhill. As we see here, already connected, and Foxwell's already second guessing, goes to a 3, but I should probably just be quiet. Heck of a bucket.
That's McNaught with an apologetic hand to the bench for allowing Foxwell to have just a little bit too much space. Backdoor cut, shut off nicely by Fletcher. As Inwood has to rethink his options. Back to McNaught. Head on a swivel. Johnson, jumper from the free throw line, doesn't go. Long rebound picked up by Jones. 10 on the shot clock. 3 ball. Johnson drains it.
He gives Hayden Jones, I don't even know what their hand signal was, but might be something in camp, but him from the top of the 3, great look.
That was a word for Bryce Johnson. It's my first time seeing him in the flesh, Tom. Unpredictable is the word I would put out there. I don't think his teammates, his coach, or Carlin Davison sees some daylight.
And you cannot afford that to happen. And by the time you go to step over, if he's already gone up in the air, it's too late.
Johnson fires it over. Judd. Davison does well to get out to his friend Judd. Oh, the step through from Judd. That's a tough shot, and Davison's right there. Almost keeps it in, but can't.
So that'd be a shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation is possession. Lockie Crate comes into the game.
Bang, bang. Carlin Davison. Tell you what, that man is good for a couple of highlights every game. Nothing's changed this game.
Liam Judd heads to the bench, Tom, averaging just under 15 points for the season, but yet to trouble the scorers in this one.
Yeah, they've done a really good job the years of identifying his three-point shooting. You see Fletcher with his first miss of the evening. Yeah, they've really done a good job closing out Liam Judd, making him put the ball on the floor, and that's what stopped him getting going in this game.
Jones sends Bryce Johnson on his way as he likes this mismatch against Quinton Bailey. 18-year-old high off the glass, gets it to drop. Hayden Jones
that is
up to 12 points.
That is a tough finish, and Hayden has incredible body control. He's able to jump off 2 feet, does a really good job getting to that, and uses his body well to create separation, as we see.
A shovel pass from Foxwell was beautiful. Johnson a little late on the play and commits a foul.
And that's the same thing. That's a really easy roll from Jack Andrew. He gets out really quickly, and the Giants are going to talk about, as you see there, can't afford to happen. You need to have a guy between the man and the basket. You know, Johnson will be a wee bit annoyed about that one as he heads to the bench to talk it over. But this is a massive 40 seconds for the Giants. The last couple of times against the Bulls and against the Saints at home, they've had moments where they've been kind of in the mix and then haven't been able to capitalize. And ultimately, that's led to the other teams getting out and running. So, as we see, we go again to the replay. Davison able to get downhill. Too easy.
Tell them who your favourite Giant is, past or present. Do that, and that puts you in the draw to win.
51-44 as the two coaches talk it over. Armour Fletcher with 13 points. Rolling with 12. Those two leading the way for the Airs. And it's two youngsters for the Giants. Hayden Jones with 12, James Matthews with 10.
And I think you're seeing the beauty of a Rapid League come out in this for the Giants right now. These are two guys that have really been prominent at the Rapid League level and now getting to apply their trade in the Sal's NBL. And you see that confidence is gleaming right now, and that's great to see.
So Jack Andrew, formerly of the Otago Nuggets, gets the free throw to drop.
And this is what I like to see. If they're getting a bit of pressure, go to Inwood. You see right there, the tempo is a lot more upbeat. The Airs do a good job at cutting it off, but it gets to that second side a whole lot quicker.
Step back, mid-range, Johnson drains it.
I tell you what, that top of the key, he is comfortable getting to his step back, catch and shoot. That is an absolute dangerous spot for him.
His release is so high as well. It's a tough thing to contest, especially when you're not expecting the mid-ranger in 2025. Here comes Inwood the other way. Jones to his right. Fletcher commits the foul, and Jones will go to the line to shoot 2.
And this is big here. If Jones can go down, knock this down, the Giants can get a couple of stops. That's a 4-point lead going into the half. And, you know, it was really looking dire in that first quarter, but the Giants really showing some positive signs to the back end of this first half.
Second foul on Fletcher, who disagreed. It's not often you see players agree, though, to be fair. Not too strong from Jones. James Matthews is ready to come back into the game.
And the Giants in the bonus too, so they'll need to be really careful heading into this wee bit.
And they needed Hayden Jones to come off with his 2 fouls to his name, so very happy he made that one as James Matthews replaces him.
He has opted for the BNZ player timeout, it looks like.
With a player timeout called.
Scan the QR code on your screen for a chance to win tickets to this season's game. Thanks to BNZ, ticket to the big game. The BNZ player timeout. Phil Jones having to be reminded he's not allowed to talk to his team. Used to sitting here in commentary. Here he is.
Yeah, even glared down the bench then. I was a wee bit scared, so hate to be a player on the floor.
Last 12 seconds.
Giants opting for a zone.
Carlin Davidson. Fletcher, 3 ball. Doesn't go, rebound from Nort. And did they have time to call their BNZ player timeout? It looks like they did. So the Giants might have a couple of seconds here as well.
Another player timeout called.
The BNZ player timeout.
The Giants in possession of the ball.
I'm just seeing how much time is being put back on the clock. Referee Corey Hogg talking to the score bench.
1 second. Of course, the clock doesn't start until the ball is caught and bounce. Or from the first touch and bounce. So still a second to do something left.
0.8 it is, Tom. What do you expect in 0.8 of a second?
Yeah, well, I'm expecting a wee catch and shoot, or you got a crate lob, but I think right now it's looking like it might be a Lockie crate back screen. See how we go.
There it is. He's there. Colin Davis is going to meet him there, though, and the Giants want a foul.
And that's a fair shout, but they've said no.
No foul. Looked like a bit of AFL there, those two meeting in the air. And it looked like Davison might have given a fair bit of contact, not giving him a chance to catch the ball, but you see the replay here. Davison jumps almost blind. There is a fair bit of contact in the air. But hey, Marty Davison knows more than me. And who knows how many seconds we have left here.
54.8. If you're the Giants, that not ideal.
It's going to have to go all the way down here, so we could be in for about a 48-second delay. It's been a chirpy first half from Carlin Davidson, but he's backed it up with his basketball as well. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. A few highlights in there as well, Tom.
And that's what he's been able to do. He's really consistent across the board. Up around 5 assists, 9 rebounds, 24 points a game. So this is nothing new for him, and he's continuing to make contributions, and it's great to see for New Zealand basketball another young talent coming through and making their mark on this league.
And he'll be part of the new look Breakers, of course, in 2025, 2026, which is, geez, it's going to be exciting to see what this new ownership group does to the Breakers.
Half-time entertainment on the way for you very, very shortly.
Great former Breaker on your screen with a deep sigh.
Not Tom Gargiulo?
Breakers fan.
.8 of a second.
Jack Andrew, 3 ball. High off the backboard and a wry smile from the centre. Half-time, 52-47. The Airs lead the Giants here at the Trafalgar Centre. Giants have done well to claw themselves back into this one. They win the second quarter 30-24 after a pretty torrid start. Now we can head over to Tom Ingham, who's with Armon Fletcher.
Here with Taranaki Airs, Armon Fletcher. Armon, great first half, 13 points. What are you seeing out there?
Just moving the ball early, getting good looks, and taking what the defense is giving us. It all ends up on our defensive end. As long as we get stops and run in transition, we should be in good condition.
So the Giants made a wee bit of a comeback in that last week, but only down 5 points. What do you need to do to win this game?
Just lock back in on defense. We're worried about a few things that don't matter right now. We're losing focus a little bit, but we'll get it together in the second half.
Awesome. Good luck, mate, for the second half. And now here with Nelson Giants, Hayden Jones. H, in the starting five, mate. How's it all feeling?
Good. Started off a little bit shaky, but we clawed back in and showed them what we can do.
Yeah, great into the first half, and obviously only down 5 points. What do you got to do in the second half to get the first win of the season?
Yeah, we just got to switch on and really lock onto our defense, because their bigs are kind of killing us at the moment, so we just got to be able to stop those guys.
Good on you, mate. All the best second half.
Smiles around at half-time, 52-47. The Airs that lead the Giants. We've got a good second half coming your way here on Sky Sport as we thank Kim Swearhouse, the official stats partner. So plenty to talk about for those three. The Giants Brains Trust will be back after the break with some highlights and analysis.
Helberg Games very soon. Please put your hands together for Team Tasman. The Helberg Games is our national sporting event for young New Zealanders between the age of 8 and 21 who have a physical disability. This time last year there was a team of 15 representatives. Our region. Before that, we only had 3. This year, they are up to 17 in Team Tasman. And tonight, some of that 17-strong team here with us as well. So give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The Helberg Games mean a lot for these young people and their families. It's a platform for young people to show their skill and passion in sport, which may never be uncovered through mainstream sport and rec programs, not to mention a chance to try all sorts of new sports as well. So we want to give them a special shout out. And a big shout out to Tasman District Council, Nelson Host Lions and Lloyd Morgan Trust for getting behind the team. And the belief that participation in sports, adaptable or not, is so important to all young people. So from Nelson, go Team Tasman, make us proud, give it your all, and know that we have your backs for the Helberg Games coming up in Auckland in a couple of weeks. Team Tasman, what do you reckon, Nelson? I reckon we could get them to do one more lap. Let's get on our feet. Show your support. One more lap around the Trafalgar Centre. This is their send-off to the Helberg Games in Auckland in a couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Representing the top of the South, like I say, 17 this year. A couple of years ago, there were only 3 that went up to the Helbergs. This time around 17 that are heading up and representing the top of the South.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre. Half-time here between the Airs and the Giants. Hugh Bannon here alongside Tom Ingham. And the Giants have clawed their way back into this game after a lightning start from the Taranaki Airs and a disjointed one from the Nelson Giants. But a 30-24 second quarter has tightened this game up, 52-47, Tom.
Yeah, a tale of two quarters, very much so. I mean, obviously the Giants didn't come out very good for a start. You see the points there. Hayden Jones and then regular from Bryce Johnson, but James Matthews as well, really making their mark on this game with Fletcher, Froling, Andrew, Davis and Foxwell, the starting five being the main contributors there for the Giants. Liam Judd not quite able to get going on the scoreboard yet, but there with 4 rebounds, and Carlin Davison, as he does, contributing across the board with Quinton Bailey, the Stratford Stallion, right in the mix. And then with assists, Owen Foxwell, 7 dimes in the first half. He is the league leader in assists at 8.8, and that's what he does. He's creating for his teammates, getting the big stick going. Callum Dalton there with 4 as well, and Alex McNaught with 3 again. Lockie Crate, Carlin Davison and Jack Andrew all contributing with the blocks. Lockie Crate looking to send a couple like he did in Rapid League. And then steals. It has definitely been steals of plenty with McNaught, Judd, Jones, Inwood and Johnson all contributing 1. And then you've got Davison, Fletcher and Foxwell. So both teams probably looking down to cut down the turnovers in the second half.
And look at those 3-point percentages as well. 50% for the Airs, 40% for the Giants. A massive uptick from the last couple of outings for Nelson in particular. Just the main story for me, I think, Tom, is obviously no Jaden Forbes let go by the Giants midweek, but the Giants still getting to know each other out there, and some combinations that probably weren't expected to be playing at this point in the season.
Well, there's always a silver lining in everything, right? And obviously, Jalen Forbes didn't quite work out for the Giants, but what it's meant is you see Hayden Jones has come into the game and has got that extended opportunity. And sometimes for players, checking into a game is actually quite difficult because you're trying to catch up with the flow, the pace of things, but Jones is able to get that from the get-go, and you've ultimately seen in his results tonight, up to double-digit points, and has looked to be threatening on the offensive end throughout.
2 ball presenters there, enjoying some chips at halftime. Fair play to them, 52-47. We'll be back after another break with third quarter action here from the Trafalgar Centre in Nelson.
New Balance, official team apparel and merchandise partner. Molten, official ball supplier. Also R-Line, official rehydration partner. And Chemist Warehouse, official pharmacy of the NBL for 2025.
Yeah, Central was really good side. Training was real good. Great question, I haven't seen that. I'm ready to go, Mel. I'll talk to you after.
I like the way we have like our youngsters coming through, and there's a reason that.
You're right, you're letting it happen. You're right.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre. The third quarter, not too far away. A pretty good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon, Tom. For this game, first weekend of club rugby back on, so I think a fair few fans will be out either running around or watching a bit of that, but otherwise the Giants' face will turn out again.
Yeah, as they always do. The community here is fantastic. They love their Giants, they love their basketball, and hopefully they can see the Giants get their first win of the season night. But if you look at the mix and picks, I would say that not everyone else is in agreement with the Giants fans right now.
A 5-point game. We will say the Airs are good for their lead so far. As we so often see, just one streak or one run can change the game for good.
Absolutely, and the Giants in the back end of the second halves have been pretty disappointing, and you see that the Saints and Bulls, they were able to get out and start running on them. They had a really good end to this first half, and that's ultimately got them back in this game, because they were staring down the barrel of what could be a serious blowout loss after that 28-17 first quarter.
Well, Bryce Johnson spent a fair bit of that first quarter on the bench. He's come out and made a few buckets since, with 11 points to his name now. Averaging 19 this season.
Yeah, that top of the key, he's looked extremely comfortable. Catch and shoot, but then also shows a wee step back too. Puts that left-hand dribble down, little step back, creates that separation. Pretty money from there.
5-point ball game, 20 minutes of basketball to come.
So McNaught, Jones, Judd, Johnson, Dalton out there for the Giants. Foxwell, Davison, Fletcher, Andrew and Froling out there for the Airs. And it's a backdoor cut from Lee Judd, who hasn't scored yet, but he has now, and in style, the exclamation mark to begin the second half of basketball here.
And you could see that was definitely first play. They wanted Judd to go backdoor. Airs have looking to get up and in and stop them from coming off dribble handoffs. Judd capitalises.
Hard show from Dalton, and Foxwell flies it over to Fletcher. The defence, as Fletcher was trying to draw a whistle, it didn't come. Judd with the rebound. He's got Jones ahead of him to his right. Finds Johnson. Strolls into a three ball, rattles it in.
I am looking at Mike Fitchett's reaction. His head is down. He is walking. But Bryce Johnson, thanks for coming.
Enigmatic, I think, is the word here. Foxwell shifts McNaught out of the way and silences the crowd with a three of his own.
Tough finish, and I think Fitcher wanted the hard show there. Foxwell able to come off and step into that easily.
All three Giants coaches were head in the hands when Johnson stepped into the three, a second into the shot clock, but he made it, and the crowd loved it. Here's McNaught skipping down the lane, waiting for a whistle. It comes, but only to indicate that the Giants will retain possession.
But McNaught has done a better job this game of getting into the paint, looking to turn off on-ball screens. And what you can see is Johnson's now starting to pop. He's starting to get some, still looks that are being guarded, but looks to shoot it.
4 seconds on the shot clock for Hayden Jones. Tries to draw the foul off Fletcher, doesn't come. Rebound eventually. Oh, Harry Froling has thrown that into orbit. I have never seen the ball hit the roof here at the Trafalgar Centre. And I think he did that at the back of his hand as well.
Yeah, that was some Sonny Bill Williams-like behaviour, except he threw that into next week. That nearly went straight through. We're looking Jack Robbins type of ceiling if he keeps throwing it through like that.
If you know, you know. As Hayden Jones will inbound this ball. Giants down by 3 early in the third. Here's McNaught, Foxwell on him like a cheap suit. Johnson hands it off, sets the screen. Jones probing. McNaught, three ball off to the right. Bryce Johnson keeps it in Giants possession. Backs down aggressively on Jack Andrew. Froling comes away with the rebound. Here comes Foxwell. Lively start to this third quarter. Foxwell shifts round Dalton. 3-ball from Froling, in and out. So the rebound this time goes to the Airs, and here's Fletcher with the floater, and he gets it to drop.
And those are the ones you can't afford. Second chance opportunities. Kick out to Fletcher, have to hard close out. Easy finish.
Coach Fitchett willing the Giants to push the pace as Cullen Davison almost comes away with a steal. McNaught lays out on the floor. They're both down. 7 on the shot clock. Liam Judd, mullet flowing behind him down the lane. Oh, went for the one-handed flush. Jack Andrew with the block. Giants possession. A little bit of everything in the first 2.5 minutes of this third quarter.
I tell you what, he thought about that, but Jack Andrew had other ideas. Liam Judd, you see here on the replay, he cocked that. Yeah, then last minute, seen Andrew come across. Great block.
Just Jack Andrew has come along in his NBL career, and it's been a great thing to see from his time as a young man out of St Kelvin's with the Otago Nuggets, a stint at the Perth Wildcats, and he's grown up in front of our eyes, Tom.
Oh, he really is. Good St Kilda. Shout out St Kilda Saints down in Dunedin. He's a good club man from there too, so it's great to see him grow and develop.
Foxwell. Big screen from Andrew. McNaught bites on the catch and shoot fake from Foxwell. The left-handed floater doesn't go. He's somehow come down with his rebound. Froling for 3. Down he goes. And that's as you like, Harry Froling.
As he does. But that's 2 possessions in a row. Pretty good defensive sequences from the Giants, but haven't been able to finish. And you need that to be able to get on the winning trail.
Long 2, and looks like that's been called as 59-54. This McNaught probes, and that's a foul on Bryce Johnson, his third.
Yeah, probably a right call there from Marty Davison as Johnson went to go set the screen, but then decided to flip it last minute, put McNaught going onto his left hand, but McNaught maybe went a wee bit early, and ultimately Johnson clipping Foxwell with his hip.
Here's Froling. Fletcher. Oh, Andrew. Oh, Andrew, the two-handed flush, and that's pretty stuff from the Taranaki Airs.
And Andrew does such a good job getting out of screens really quickly, catches Bryce Johnson a wee bit.
Oh, Hayden Jones probably could have finished there. Instead, he opted to hand it off to McNaught. And Davison, back-to-back two-handed flushes from the Airs.
And that's what can happen. That's what can happen for the Giants if they allow the Airs. If there's turnovers, the Airs are incredibly good at getting out and capitalizing on those turnovers. If you see here, Davison's out, still bobbles it, has the time. And man, that guy has some serious athleticism.
Oh, T-shirts flying here, Coventry Plaza.
I've just nearly taken one to the dome, man.
Those cannons are erratic. 1 minute they just dribble out, the next minute they hit the roof. We're under fire here. You can't see it on screen, but we're under fire.
Oh, commentary careers stopped before it's even started. Oh my goodness.
The MBS T-shirt cannon, lethal. As has been the transition game of the Taranaki Airs in the last few minutes of this third quarter. We extended to an 8-point lead.
We're now taking a roof trial out. You ready? Here we go.
This will be a real challenge for the Giants here. How do they respond? They've had throughout this season so far, they've obviously been tested in some pretty difficult waters and maybe haven't responded the best, but here's an opportunity. You see Sam Dempster with an extended absence is now back in the game, so hopefully the leadership that he provides can really have an impact on this bit for the Giants.
62-54. 6:20 in the third.
Starting 5 still out there for the Airs. They don't run too deep.
Airs have gone to a zone too. See if they can disrupt the Giants' flow again. As you see right now, they're trying to get into what looks like a shake almost screen, but
the Dirk Nowitzki, yes. Jumper from Dempster, but the good offensive rebound from Dalton, and they dump it back into the big Aussie. The Aussie on Aussie action down in the low post. Good footwork from Dalton and the finish too. Pretty big man play.
And Dalton's really comfortable at getting into the lane. He takes that extra pivot step to try get Froling on his right hand side, spins, gets back to his right. Great finish.
Fletcher over the top to Andrew. Dempster has to foul from behind.
And Dempster not too thrilled about that one. Doesn't want to chat to the refs, old Sammy D, but we'll have a look and see if we've got a fair argument here. Yeah, he probably got him, to be fair.
Pretty tough already, any of these Giants, apart from Dalton and Johnson, to contend with Andrew and Froling.
Yeah, it really is Twin Towers, and that's reflected. The points in the paint, it's still a massive problem for the Giants, and it's something that Ayers look to really capitalise on.
And Ayers done a great job of finding those mismatches as Hayden Jones sees a little bit of daylight, bumps into Jack Andrew and finishes.
And Hayden Jones looking more and more comfortable out here. Takes him up to 17 points now, which is great to see him continue to grow in confidence.
Oh, Dempster being chased down by Carlin Davison of all people, but he finishes with the left hand anyway. That's probably about a scary guy coming behind you as anyone in the league, I'd say.
The athleticism of the man, Sam Dempster, got a big smile on his face. He's screaming down the court.
I don't think he got off the ground on the layup. Carlin Davison was so surprised, didn't even jump either.
Oh man, how good Sammy D.
Oh, Davison slightly away with pass. Twinkle Toes Bailey does really well to keep that in, but the three ball doesn't go. It's all happening here.
Handball out here.
Jack Andrew just cross-court forehands it against the bottom of the rim as well. Kellen Dalton looks just to slow things down. Big strides under the hoop. Telfer comes away with it.
Great hand from Andrew again, using his wingspan, able to get there. You look, Bailey trying to seal Judd in there, but Liam Judd does a good job.
Davison finds a bit of space, strides down the lane and finishes.
Too easy right now. Carlin Davison cannot be getting into the paint if you're the Nelson Giants, and if you're the Ayers, that's a fantastic sign.
Here's Hayden Jones. Rangy step back, didn't shoot the three, looked to thread it through to Callum Dalton. Telfer read it nicely. Foxwell trying to draw a foul, and he does. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
And Foxwell doing a really good job of getting onto Dalton's hip. He feels the contact. As soon as he feels that contact, able to get the ball up, go to the Chemist Warehouse for two. So we see the replay here. Straight away, sees that he's got the mismatch. Able to attack. Dalton not quite set in defensive stance. Great move for Foxwell.
A couple of youngsters head back out onto the court for the Giants. James Matthews, Lockie Crate.
You've got to see how James Matthews responds here. Had an incredible first half. And obviously needs to come out now, make sure that he keeps that same confidence going. See Foxwell really trying to put the pressure on him.
Jones turning the corner. Called for the foul is Owen Foxwell.
Yeah, I think Foxwell maybe thought that one was ball there.
And the Giants thought it was a shooting foul. Yeah, he's going to call a timeout either way. And it has been a chaotic 6.5 minutes in this third quarter.
It has been all happening. Deflections, balls flying up in the ceiling, balls flying up in the rim. It's been madness, but ultimately the Ayers have looked to pull away a wee bit now, up to 10. As we see Phil Jones asking the question on why Hayden's not shooting that ball at the free throw line. But this is big time for the Giants. They want to go into the fourth quarter, single-digit type of lead. It's Phil trying to evade the camera.
I just love the mindset that if I keep staring at them, keep staring at the rest, they'll come and talk to me eventually.
Yeah, I wish it worked like that.
In all the chaos, the Ayers extended their lead to 10. Sam McKinnon clearly calling a timeout just because sometimes in the chaos things get away from them, and he just wants probably them to settle things down a bit, get back into their work.
Owen Foxwell putting together a very decent game in terms of the 12 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. really, you know, dictating this Ayers offense. They have 70 points with still three and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Currently sitting at 97 points per game in terms of an average, and they are looking at surpassing that if they keep on this current rate.
Phil Jones got his conversation, but the call hasn't been overturned. Still was foul on the floor, and here they are back underway. Lockie Crate out there. Here's Hayden Jones, fires it over to Dempster. 3 ball, Sammy D doesn't drop, rebounded by Quinton Bailey. 4th rebound for QB. Bounced around the league a bit, and now back home with the Ayers. Quinton Bailey, good ball movement from the Ayers. Fletcher can't get it to go. Bailey comes down with it again.
And again, that's another killer, and if you see that go in, that's 3 times in a row where Ayers have got easy points off that, and the Giants, if they are unable to get back in this game, will be looking at that and being, oh, as we see, Sammy D.
Hit the floor pretty hard after some contact, I think, from either Scott Telfer or Quinton Bailey.
Yeah, but to see a replay. I think maybe it was Scotty Telfer that got a hold of him on that one. But yeah, Dempster has definitely spent some time on the floor over his career as we look there. Yep. Telfer not quite being able to get over that screen, or the dribble handoff, sorry, and then, yeah, Dempster being the beneficiary of that foul.
Minort back into the game for Hayden Jones as Fletcher rises high and brings down that rebound. 12-point lead to the Ayers. Matthews sticking to Fletcher, deep 3, Foxwell drains it, and the Ayers settling into their work late in this third quarter and just putting a bit of daylight between these two teams.
Yeah, probably need to start to get a bit of a hand up on Foxwell. He's starting to look comfortable shooting that catch and shoot. Need him to put on the floor, but still he's a tough cover because he gets his teammates involved incredibly well.
Double-double now with 15 points and 10 rebounds as Dalton puts up the 3, looking to respond, can't. Rebound, Dempster almost. Out of bounds it goes, and it will be Ayers possession from the baseline.
And this is a real test of the Giants' character here. How can they respond in this last 2 minutes? Against the Tuatara, you've seen they were probably out of it and then had that minute-and-a-half patch where they really pulled it back. Only down 6 points and with a couple missed free throws there, could have pulled it back to 4. So it's definitely not out of reach for the Giants, but things like finishing plays, getting those defensive rebounds, getting out and running, being assertive and aggressive, that's what they need to do. So let's see how they go.
So Quinton Bailey will get us back underway after just a floor cleaning delay there. He's rolling around right downhill. Fletcher turning the corner, putting up the floater, gets it to go. Oh, Fletcher, 17 points. He's made it look easy.
Yeah, he really has. Showed that he can finish, both hands going left, going right. As we see McNaught getting downhill, I like that. It's a great look for the Giants.
Dalton rattles in the 3.
And that comes from McNaught straight away, not accepting the pressure that's provided by Foxwell. He's getting, or Telfer per se, getting downhill, hitting that pick and pop. Great offense for the Giants.
Hard show. Here's Froling for 3. Rebounded by Dempster.
And you see straight away going to that second side. It took a wee bit for the Giants to get into it, but that's something they need to be able to flow into, so they've got time. As McNaught for 3. There we go.
Back-to-back 3s for the Giants. McNaught around the screen.
And an increased job from McNaught being a lot more aggressive tonight. He needs to do that. You know, as a point guard, obviously, offensively, he's still finding his feet, but you see there he's more than capable and needs to continue to shoot those shots.
Oh, it's nice from Harry Froling. A little running hook.
Tough.
Oh, Matthews just picked away from Fletcher's wide open space.
That's a... Oh, they've got it. Wow.
For the double dribble, Corey Hogg.
James Matthews has got out of jail with that one. You see a wry smile on his face, but...
It's one of those situations where a player's just so unnecessarily wide open, where you go, what can I do here? Yeah. A bit of Angel Reese to Armand Fletcher there. Backdoor cut. Lockie Crate needs a bit of contact. Gets it to go to the line for one more, Lockie Crate.
And again, back cuts, not accepting that pressure that the Airs are trying to throw out there. Lockie Crate's done a great job of looking to attack backdoor. Got the dunk in the first half, just there, gets the and one. Great job from the Giants.
And Lockie Crate up to the line.
Lockie Crate he's been a big spark for the Giants off the bench. Really looks to attack the bucket and gives the Giants the paint touches they need to initiate offense.
Davidson to Fletcher. Davidson really pushing the pace. Fletcher ram this inward.
And this is what I love. Inward pushing the ball straight into the second side. There we go.
There he is. Then a bit of lotion to the motion. There's Aston Inward straight off the bench and an immediate impact.
But that's it. That's the second side action they can go to straight away. They don't need to just dribble the air out of the ball. Go to that inward with the key. Great bucket.
Foxwell under duress from James Matthews, and then big Cal Dalton just comes and absolutely floors him.
I think this can be a bit of a dangerous lineup for the Giants. They can afford to get up and in there a bit smaller, but they are active. Dalton is a lot more active as an on-ball screen defender. And you got Inward, Crate, and then James Matthews and Alex McNaught getting up and in defensively. So let's see how they go in this last wee bit.
(79-71), 15 seconds to go in this third quarter. Andrew sets the screen off the big foot of Callum Dalton. No whistle, play on. Foxwell just strolls to the hoop and finishes in his left, and we have a technical foul there.
Yeah, Callum Dalton. Unfortunate, just a bit frustration. Bounced the ball in the air. No, it's a shame. I don't really like it, but I understand that the refs, they need to be able to have an impact on the game and can't afford things like that to happen.
And quick player timeout.
So Fletcher makes a technical free throw. And Matthews has to put up the speculative one with under a second to go. So 3 quarters in the book. It's 82-71. With 1 quarter to go, Tom. And a couple of times the Airs have looked like they're ready to run away with this game, only for the Giants just by hook or by crook keep themselves within it. And we've got a fascinating 4th quarter to go. We'll be back after the break here on Sky Sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 45 seconds. Time starts now. First one's up. Chesro's on his way back. Nelson's looking with the first. There it is. He's got the first. He's coming back. One that side. 30 seconds to go. Slice number 2. Both of the 2 pieces. Nelson's up and through. Jethro's got his. 15 seconds. Just 15 to go. Jethro's on his way back. Nelson's just found his 4th. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll give it to him. We'll give it to him. Give it a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Nelson and Jethro. Good work. Of course, the Souls NBL Steer now available in all Souls pizzerias right around the country. A combination of their famous New York pepperoni, classic cheese and delicious garlic knots, all laid up in a deal that will make you dribble.
Welcome back. Saturday afternoon hoops, round 4 of the Sales NBL. The Giants in the Airs with 11 points separate them with a quarter to go. Owen Foxwell, 17 points, 10 assists and 5 rebounds. What a game he's putting together. Starts us off, and he draws an early foul from young James Matthews.
Yeah, and Fitchett really encouraging Matthews to get up, try to disrupt that ball a wee bit. And it'll be interesting to see what the Giants do on on-ball screens here. They've gone between hard showing and dropping, so we'll see if they extend that pressure out.
Davison. Foxwell. Crate just bites ever so slightly, allowing a bit of space, and Fletcher, a 3-ball from the corner to get the fourth quarter underway.
21 points now for Armon Fletcher, looking really, really comfortable out there, being the beneficiary of some great ball movement by the Taranaki Airs.
Foxwell almost with the steal. A foul.
And a flop warning.
Basket counts. Foul called on Fletcher. And it'll be one shot. Well, Foxwell did well to tap the ball away from McNaught, but straight to Lockie Crate.
And
tough flop warning.
Yeah.
A foul,
yeah.
Yes, but
having a bit of a laugh about it now, but yeah, I don't think that's too wrong from Armon Fletcher. Just the common foul will do for me.
Lockie Crate is a big, strong boy, and he's putting his shoulder into your chest. Hard to keep your feet. This is the free throw. Quentin Bailey with the board.
So trying to get Davison in some pin down action there, but Crate doing a good job of disrupting him.
Foxwell. James Matthews on the assignment for the year 13 student up against a bona fide Australian NBL point guard.
Oh, call him all when they go for the switch, but like Matthews there, just probably mucked around with it a wee bit too much, but wanted to exploit that matchup.
Turnaround jumper from Bryce Johnson doesn't drop. Carlin Davison with another athletic rebound. And here he is going up against his breakers teammate McNaught. Leaves the ball behind though. Matthews picks it up. Push the pace to shout from the Giants bench. Johnson wants it down low. He's got a mismatch with Foxwell on him. That's who they find. Bailey comes over to help. Foxwell just takes the ball away, and it will be Airs possession.
Yeah, great hand from Foxwell. Obviously, being in that mismatch, and the Airs did a good job coming over, but was able to get the hand, cause the turnover. Up to 12 turnovers now for the Giants.
Davison around the Andrew screen. Another no-look pass from Carlin Davison. Fletcher does well to keep it in bounds. Foxwell waits for the screen. The floater doesn't go. Andrew in there, so is Johnson. Johnson comes away with it. He's not happy about the harassment he's getting from Foxwell, and he probably is very lucky that he didn't connect with those swinging arms just then.
That's some Ron Artest type elbows there. That could have been real scary. Great move there from Matthews, going back to the Chemist Warehouse for 2 more. Love how he's being aggressive, trying to get downhill, and really making an impact on this game. Really hasn't been afraid to go against that tall timber, James Matthews. He's really attacked, jumps off 2 feet incredibly well, creates the contact. We see our Mix and Picks MVP, Carlin Davison, jumping out ahead early with Jonathan, also known as Bryce Johnson, sitting at 13%.
Jonathan, his actual first name. Owen Foxwell unlucky not to be on that leaderboard there.
Yeah, early days might see him start.
Seems unnecessary to slam Alex McNaught with a 0%.
He'll froth it regardless.
Bailey under duress
Great
from
job.
Inwood. McNaught eventually gets it and finishes. A bit of energy from the Giants there. They still trail by 9.
And that's Matthews and Inwood again. They've done a great job inserting energy into this Giants lineup. They need to make sure that they're continuing to do that in this last 7.5 minutes.
Crate almost read the passing lane and came away with it. Davison striding down the lane. Fletcher again from the corner. This one doesn't go. Rebounded by Matthews.
And that's rejects again from Davidson. They cannot afford to be rejected on on-ball screens. It puts the Giants into rotation. Hard to recover. Fletcher, great look.
Johnson wants it back. Davison read that. Look out below. It's Carlin Davison cops it from Bryce Johnson, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. There's a 4th foul on Bryce Johnson. The referees may just be discussing whether that is an unsportsmanlike foul.
No.
I think there was enough of a play on the ball. And it has not been called an unsportsmanlike foul as Bryce Johnson heads to the bench with 4 fouls to his name. McNaught also takes the seat as Jones and Dalton go back into the game.
Bryce Johnson back on the bench.
Davidson unable to capitalise on the first one. We're a bit below his scoring average right now. Carlin Davidson was sitting at 24 before this game, but as we very well know, that can change in a heartbeat if he starts getting some leeway and is able to continue to reject screens like he has.
So 3 members of that New Zealand under-17 team who made it to the World Cup semi-final are out on the floor for the Nelson Giants with 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter in an NBL game, Tom. Dalton drops it off to Inwood. And get it done there to the Giants.
And that's what he does, Aston Inwood. He's not a guy who necessarily will be creating offense by dribbling the ball, but he's a great cutter. He is able to see that the defender has their head turned. Great basket.
And he stops to the Giants. Here's Foxwell. Fires it out. Davison, 3-ball right in front of the Giants bench. Doesn't go. Inwood with the rebound. Pushes the pace. He's got Jones ahead of him. A man right behind him, though. Fletcher almost comes away with it.
Yeah, Coach Fletcher looking for some comms from his teammates, which is definitely required in that instance. Inwood, it's great to see, and this is where the beauty of it is playing with that smaller lineup. Inwood is starting to generate a lot of offense through that second side action, dribble handoffs, and then obviously cutting off the ball too, with Dalton and him making a good pair right now.
Dalton risky one over the top to Inwood. 10 on the shot clock. Matthews in among the tall timber, the tallest of the timber. Picked away by Foxwell, who immediately looks up ahead of him. Not much going ahead. Fletcher out the back door. Oh, a little miscommunication, and we haven't seen too much, if any, of that from the Airs this afternoon.
No, we're having the 10th turnover for the Airs right there, so not too bad. I know the Giants had a low turnover rate, but currently sitting at 13, which is a bit above their average right now.
Dalton shoulder into his fellow countryman, wanting a whistle that doesn't come. And here go the Airs the other way. Fletcher can't get it to go. Second, third opportunity, taps it in. And there's a timeout from the Nelson Giants. 78-86, they trail.
And again, would hate to harp on, but it's offensive rebounds is the tail of the tape in this second half. The Airs right now up to 8 offensive rebounds. I believe they only had 1, potentially 2 at the first half, and they have come out in the second half, really crashed the glass, and their second chance points now up to 11. Didn't have any in the first half, but that's what we see there. Hayden Jones starting to creep into that game MVP, which is good to see. He's had a heck of a game. Currently 17 points, shooting 7 of 11 with a rebound and 2 assists in there as well. This is it for the Giants here. You got 5.5 minutes. Can they get together? They've shown signs when they start to go on runs. It can be really exciting. As we know, the Trafalgar Centre, they can start to get up, start to get excited when that run occurs. So it's going to be who makes the next run here. If it's the Giants, then we've got a heck of a ball game. If it's the Airs, then the Giants could be looking at an early night.
Foxwell still not making it onto the board. It's 17 and 11 double-double.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. We might have to get out.
There he is. There he is, just climbing.
There we go. Well deserved.
CNN on election night. Watching it come in before our eyes. 88-78, 5.5 minutes to go. Time is of the essence for this young Nelson Giants lineup, and Matthews and Inwood combining again
And beautiful from Inwood there. Set the screen, rolled down, got behind the defense head. Good wheel, well executed offense.
8-point game. Liam Judd getting ready to come into the game. The backdoor cut. Telfer probably should have gone up as soon as he got the ball. Delayed just a second too long. Gave Craig a chance to come and contest the shot. A couple of screens from Dalton. Jones trying to look inside to Cal Dalton, who's double teamed, I should say. Jones leaves it behind. Telfer comes away with it. Look up below. If he throws the alley-oop pass, he just gets it stuck underneath, and the treble from Scott Telfer denying us a Carlin Davis and alley-oop. Almost got too excited.
And that's a couple of times now the Giants have got out of jail. First with the Fletcher double dribble. That time Telfer unluckily fumbles. Still did a good job actually to get a pretty decent pass up after fumbling, but Giants got out of jail there. Now they need to capitalise, as we see here on the replay. Not quite.
Back with live action. And Liam Judd and Alex McNaught have come back into the game for James Matthews and Lockie Crate. Even the Giants' more senior players aren't that old, as Judd drives and finishes over Telfer.
Great job from Liam Judd. Their ears are really, they're hyper aware of him out on the three-point line, able to rip. Help wasn't there. Great finish.
Well, that's a 6-point game here, Tom, with 4 minutes 20 to go. It really hasn't felt like the Giants overly deserve to be in this contest. If that makes sense, is Froling just rolling to the basket beautifully.
And if the Giants are going to hard show, they need to have help side rotations there ready to go. Didn't get it on that instance. Easy Froling bucket.
And we're with the screen at North.
Ears hard switching as well. They see Telfer go under there to Jones.
A big moment if it goes. It doesn't, but he's fouled shooting the three. So he'll go the line. And looking like he's just nursing a sore left leg there, Hayden Jones.
Yeah, Jones has been in the wars a wee bit recently. The quad, see him stretching the quad there as he's fouled. But yeah, against the Saints, struggled with a bit of a quad injury that he was nursing. And then now got the calf all strapped up, as you can see there on the screen. But these are big free throws for the Giants right now. I know his dad will be looking on closely.
Makes the first. A chance to make this a 5-point game.
The first of three.
Great hit there from Jones. Can he make it 3 for 3?
Young man in his first year out of Waimea College. After the University of Wisconsin later this year. Makes all three and gives us a 5-point game with 3 minutes 48 to go.
And Jones up to 20, which potentially may be a career high.
Certainly is in the NBL. Froling, where's the contact? And the more I watch Harry Froling, the more Nikola Jokic vibes you get. Just the way he carries himself, the way he plays, the skills, the hand-eye coordination. It's phenomenal to watch.
I like the comp. Yeah, the footwork is another one. He has elite footwork and just looks so in control, plays at his own pace. Yeah, he is a great get for the Airs, and it's great to see him back playing basketball because he's a heck of a talent.
Fox up. Here is Froling. Hand from McNaught. Not enough to deter the big man who drains the three. 22 points for Harrison Froling. Inwood fires it over to Judd. Quick first step, but reverts back to Inwood. Jones, Johnson back onto the floor. 3 ball. High off the back iron, rebounded by Froling. Foxwell goes the other way, 93-85. The clock about to tick over, 3 minutes to go.
Now got Andrews in the mismatch. But Judd doing a good job keeping him out there, but Andrew takes that time.
And there's a timeout from the Giants. Jack Andrew taking a nice 8 or 9 seconds off the clock and getting the basket to go.
And only 3 rebounds from Jack Andrew, which is a wee bit uncharacteristic for him. But then down the offensive end, 7 of 10, looking really comfortable. And he does such a good job at the post. Keeps it simple, stays nice and patient, has shown to the ability to finish with both hands. And now the Airs pull away to a 10-point lead.
Stand up and 3 runs off in the air on the count of 3. You ready? Okay, stand clear of Max. This is a dangerous thing.
Giants gone right off the board. Hayden Jones, the lone Giants out there now, with Carlin Davison pushing ahead on their MVP.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Boom! Max off in It's just the way I look sometimes.
And Aston Inwood is another one who's put together quite a handy game in his 18.5 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He's a guy we talked about in the Rapid League with Miles's 555, well, we're still trying to figure out the name for, but he's looking to do that in the NBL game too, so it's great to see Aston Inwood making an impact.
McNaught having to work hard to get past Foxwell, bring the ball up the court. Johnson over to Judd, immediately surrounded by Taranaki Airs. Turnaround jumper from Johnson, in and out, rebounded by Froling. Oh, McNaught almost takes it right off him. Airs possession.
Yeah, wanted that too, but that's good from McNaught, and it's looking right now McNaught's trying to talk about getting up and in and applying a bit of defensive pressure. I know by that symbol I'm looking at maybe sandwich, so I'd say what's going to happen is they're going to double deny Foxwell the ball, not allow him to bring it up, and it looks like they're going to make Fletcher be the one bringing it up. So now they'll be trying to get Jones to put Fletcher under some pressure, and
McNaught comes to help. Fired over to Froling though. Davidson with a potential dagger, doesn't go. Rebound Fletcher, and he does the rest. Now the Giants push. Time and the clock is very much the 6th man for the Airs right now.
Yeah, it really is. 2 minutes 10, and there's been some great defensive sequences from the Giants, but it is just a matter of offensive rebounding, and the Airs have just been able to create some second chance opportunities. We see Jones sub out, Lockie Crate checks into the game, but that could be ultimately what's costing this game.
Struggling with that left quad by the looks of it, Hayden Jones, as Johnson has to put up a bit of a speculative 3 that misses. And the Airs go the other way, 2 minutes on the clock, 97-85.
You think the Giants right now probably need to start trying to be a bit more disruptive, not allowing Foxwell to get downhill, as you see there.
Froling 3. They push the other way. Inwood stepping through. Judd will put up the 3 ball. Can't get it to go. Fletcher, another rebound, number 6 for him to go with his 25 points, 3 assists.
Yeah, heck of a game, and that's probably the first standstill look that Liam Judd has got. Obviously came into this game at 71%, but he's done a good job at shutting him out.
Just his second attempt, I think. So there's looking to see this game out now with 1:20 to go. Johnson could change that with a 3, can't get it to go. Again Fletcher with an athletic rebound. Oh, that's it inward. Like a centre back for Tasman United.
And that's what he does. He's not afraid to put his body on the line. Old Asto there with a wry smile on his face. Mask and all, it isn't going to stop him.
He's a good rugby player back in the day, Aston Inwood.
Big Manly Sea Eagles man too. Loves his rugby league. Oh,
you don't often see that.
Sniper?
It's a slide tackle, the good old-fashioned Winston Reid, Ryan Nelson slide tackle.
Don't forget, of course, the Giants back on the battlefield next Saturday as well. 7:30. We take on the Taranaki 5 before they have a few away games. So we'd like to see
A minute to go. Foxwell looking to add to an already stellar outing, and will do it from the line.
Yeah, Foxwell's really had his fingerprints all over this game from a distributing standpoint, but then also in the second half has really got going, shooting a perfect 3 from 3 from the three-point line, and then is able to get to the Chemist Warehouse, as we see here. The Airs have had themselves quite a shooting night, currently sitting at 54% from the field, and then also another 43% from the three-point line. So we see another turnover.
Johnson's pass just erratic. It hasn't been the best night for Bryce Johnson. Surely Andrew thought about the three.
Yeah, I've seen him knock down a couple. It's definitely something he can do.
Frolling. Andrew, here he is.
Speak of the devil. The big fella showing some range.
Good team, man. Let some time come off the clock. Oh, and there he gets the block at the other end. Jack Andrew. 20 points. 3 rebounds.
Heck of a night. Heck of a night from Jack Andrews. You see right now the Airs are clearing the bench.
5 blocks as well for the Twizel kid.
Wow. Yeah, he really has. He has been a presence down there and has made it difficult for the Giants to get into that lane.
Lockie Crate wide open. Finishes. It will be too little too late. Jordi Huerta back out there with the Rapid League crew for the Airs. And the Stallion just finishing it off.
Yeah, an easy basket, and that kind of sums up this last wee bit for the Giants. We see another deflection there. McNaught trying to push the tempo. But the Giants, I mean, signs are there, but ultimately you have to chalk this one down to another loss and go back to the drawing board. Can't afford to dwell on this one too long. All right, you've got to turn around next week as we see Inwood for 3. Lockie Crate with the finish.
Well, next time we see the Giants in a week's time against the Fight, will we see another import out there openly in the market, as Mike Fitchett has said throughout the week since Forbes was let go. It'll be interesting to see if Bryce Johnson will have another import partner.
Yeah, I know there's been some murmurs in terms of who they're talking to, so hopefully they can pull it through and they can bring the cavalry in, because it is no secret that they definitely need it.
Jordi Huerta on the board in the NBL game.
Yeah, had a good Rapid League game, so it's good to see him getting some burn and, you know, knocking a couple in.
Beers their player timeout for the Giants, who know better than most how big points difference.
10 seconds on the clock. Potentially the last play of the game today. Congratulations to the Taranaki Ears. Looking forward to seeing you back at the Trafalgar.
Probably your last time in this game to scan the QR code for your chance to win tickets to this season's game. Thanks to BNZ's Tickets to the Big Game.
Get tickets, giants.cricket.co.nz. 7:30 tip-off.
Plenty to think about for those three. The Giants will start the season 0-5. And Quinton Bailey is called for a foul.
James Matthews gets to go for another couple. Add to his career high also. So career high for Matthews and for Jones. So some positives.
Silver lining.
Silver lining. We always look for the silver lining, especially when it isn't going our way on the results board.
Well, it's a name to remember. James Matthews.
James Matthews.
Sammy Mack has a successful return from his trip to America. Well, I said it was your last chance to scan the QR code, but I was wrong. Because the Airs take it too. So why don't we give you another chance to scan the QR code for a chance to win tickets to this season's games. Used to be NZ's ticket to the big game.
Just 9 seconds of game time to go. 105.
It's a well-deserved break there from, you see that big three there for the Airs. Armon Fletcher, incredible game. You know, he's been a guy that has been like we talked about, that Swiss Army knife who kind of contributed where the gaps are, but he's been a prominent scorer for the Airs tonight, sitting at 25 points and leading the whole game in scoring.
Into QB they look. Creighton with the steal, and with 5 seconds to go, will he have the last say? Up he goes, and just the finger roll in the end from Lockie Creighton. Riley Tudor might get one up from three-point land, and he drains it. So the last say goes to the Taranaki Airs, and deservedly so. 108-93. They come away with the win. Off the back of big games from Armon Fletcher. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Harry Froling with 22 points. And what about Owen Foxwell? Up a great line of 18 points, 6 for 11 from the field, 13 assists and 6 rebounds.
The next home game for our NBS Nelson Giants. And of course, the last one.
The game MVP, according to www.mixandpick.com, Carlin Davison. Fair enough too, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. A few highlights in there as well for young Carlin. And we can hear, I think, from Harrison Froling, who's with Tommingham.
Here with the Airs, Harry Froling. Harry maintained the Giants. We come back and able to pull out to a blowout win. What did you see from that second half in particular?
Yeah, I think we cleaned it up. We got through the offense, moved the ball side to side, and I think we looked good. You know, the schedule's been crazy start of season. We haven't trained a whole lot, so we're still figuring it out as a team and chemistry and all that sort of thing. So it was a good second half way to finish it.
And obviously a tough one against the Rams the game before. You came out tonight able to get it done. What's the mindset heading into these next games coming up?
Yeah, for me, I got a pinched nerve in my back, so I'm just trying to rest and get my back right for the next week. We've had a lot of back-to-back games, so it'll be a good week of practice. Lock in on the next. I don't even know who the next game is, but lock in on the next game and come out ready. We're very up and down right now, and we just need to steady the ship a bit and get a bit of consistency about us, and we'll be good if we keep building.
Yeah, rest up, mate. Good to see you back out there.
Thank you.
Harry Froling, deserving of a rest for sure, as the Giants have got plenty to talk about and think about as their season trundles on 0-5, and we'll have a chance to look at the Chemist's Warehouse stats. Hayden Jones 20 points, Armon Fletcher 25 and Froling 22. Bryce Johnson with 14 for the Giants. To the rebounds, Johnson was 6, Fletcher was 7. Foxo, as I said, put together a great stat line. 13 assists.
Impressive.
He averaged 8.8 before this game. And there's the Twizel kid, Big Jack Andrew, with 5 blocks and 6 steals for Foxwell. Why not?
That is a heck of a game from Owen Foxwell, right across the board. Impressive.
The Phi in action in half an hour's time against the Hawks. The Nuggets, Tuatara tomorrow. Jets, Saints, Panthers, Sharks. Round 4 of Sal's NBL action here from the Trafalgar Centre. It's the Airs who lead Nelson with a win, 108-93. We'll do it all again next week here in Nelson when the Giants take on the Phi. See you then.